Oh, webcast is back up by the look of it. So welcome back, folks. If you've missed it, I'm not sure whether you can see it. I certainly couldn't up here, but Manon Costard just ran a very easy 13-metre pass. He looked really good at 32 off. This is 12-metre now. And, of course, she needs more than 5.25 at the very least to make it into the ladies slalom final, 2019 World Champs. Looking very tidy at the moment, getting it done. Round 3 she goes, cross the 4, round 4, takes it easy on 4 to make sure of it, but she's got 5 and she'll get 6, and Manon Costard is through to the ladies slalom final. Well done, complete pass on the 12-metre line. So she now shortens down to the 11.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. These ladies are so strong. I'm just constantly blown away by their strength and skill. Not like Shahir Nasir, who, trains on and off, part of the Malaysian team, used to be. Might come back one day.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she can do on the 11.25 metre line. Not quite sure what's going on at the moment. We've got I hope on the webcast you're able to see live pictures up here in commentary. We're seeing a still picture there. In fact, we've got no picture now. Oh, back live. So hopefully you're getting to see this on the webcast, and hopefully you can hear me. I'm making sense. But Manon Costard, France has just shortened onto the 11.25 metre line. She's through to the final. And obviously, we've had one skier, Jamie Ball from Canada, who's successfully completed this 11.25 metre line. So we're hoping we can get another couple of ladies through. Just Regina Jacques left on the start dock to go in this women's slalom elimination round. Pulls out wide in the tournament towboat here. Through the gate she goes. Round 1, big snap of the head back on 1. Round 2. A little bit slow out of 2. She's getting late. Round 3. Oh, big 3 ball. How good was that? Round 4. I'm loving the look of this. Around 5. Can she get the 6? Oh, that's sensational. Manon Costard. Does she get out the gates? She does. Put your hands together.
Ooh.
Wow, that is some gutsy skiing. She took some big hits there. Bigger hits than the Beatles out there. With the sensational stuff, Manon Costard. That's the sort of excitement we love to see in slalom. We're down to the 10.75 now, folks. And we have, of course, had Jamie Bull from Canada with 1 on this pass. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more out of Manon Costard. Gutsy stuff, Philippa.
Yeah, really gutsy. She's got an amazing website, lots of sponsors. I think she's one of our more successful athletes out there.
Yeah, she really is, and she's of course also helps out. She's an athlete rep on the World Tournament Council. She's certainly does a lot for our sport, which is great to see. And we will not be too long. 10.75 metre line now from the start dock end. And Manon Costard, here she comes, folks. Pulls out there, that master line rope is nice and tight. Here she goes into 1 boy, 10.75, round 1. Not a bad start, actually. This is looking good. Round 2, big 2 ball, 10.75. Look at it go. Round 3, heads across the 4, does she? Oh, judge's call. But either way, that's a new course record here at Putrajaya, sorry, there's no m about it.
Putrajaya.
Putrajaya. But that's absolutely sensational. We've got a new course record, at least 3 on the 10.75. And, well, a lot of people around the world are going to be happy to see that here on this side. Of course, that just shows us that we're going to see some big slalom scores come in the final, I'm sure. Well done from Manon Costard there. I'm not so sure whether she got the quarter there. It was a close run thing. Whether she was still, we'll hopefully get a slow-mo replay here. I'm not sure whether the technological gremlins will allow it today, but just to see if she still needed to be hanging onto the handle as she went past 4 ball to get the quarter. Not so sure that she was, but you never know. We'll wait and see what the judges say.
I think I saw driver Mario Pigozzi in the driver's seat just there. So shout out to the drivers. We are having a carnival starting from today, so all Malaysians or visitors around the lake do come by Precinct 6 Complex Sukan Air.
Okay, so she'll come back down. A big cheer as she comes past the grandstand, folks, because absolutely sensational. Sorry, she's in the water, isn't she? She's not behind the boat. That's what happens when you're watching on the TV screen rather than live. But it was sensational stuff from Manon Castada. She swims in front of the crowd. And yeah, she's been given 3, so she didn't quite get the extra quarter there. Just dropped the handle just before the buoy, I think, to get round it. So 3 buoys at 10.75. Big lead, though, over the rest of the field. But it only gets better from here because we now go to our world champion, defending world champion, of course, current world record holder, Regina Jacques, representing the United States.
I'm not sure how much practice she's gotten because they just got here, and then the practice yesterday was rained out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the very first day she was here, I think she got 2 or 3 or 4 passes here on the site. I think Monday, she arrived Monday morning, I believe, or late Sunday night. Got maybe 4 passes on site here, so she has had a little bit of practice on site. Regina Jacques, of course. Current world record holder, obviously, deep down the 10.25. 4.5 now, I think, Philippa, the world record at 10.25, I believe. So it's getting close. You know, it's not going to be too long before we see a lady running that 10.25, which would be just huge for our sport. And this is actually, I missed. Could be 13 metre by the look of it to me, but we will confirm it. I think 32 off to start for Regina Jacques, and she is a class act. Waits for 6 ball.
Tower 66.
So good pass. Now we'll just confirm whether that was 14 or 13. I think it was 13. Yeah, it was 13 metres. So this now we go on to 12 metre for Regina, and obviously needs more than 5 to make it through. If the upset of upsets happen, which is highly unlikely, and she didn't get there, then we'd have a bit of a run-off in women's slalom, but I think that's highly unlikely. Remember, quite a while ago, Hannah Edebeck of Sweden and Erika Lane scored 5 at 12. They've been on the bubble for a while now, but I think they would know that Regina will exceed that, so she'll just needs to get a piece of 6 ball and she's through to the final. What we really want to see her do is have a crack at maybe running 10.75. A long way to go yet, but we've seen 2 girls, Jamie Bull and Manon Custard, make it on to 10.75. So if they can do that, then I'm sure Regina will have a crack at possibly even running 10.75, which would be amazing. Okay, here we go now. Regina Jacques from Santa Rosa Beach in Florida, up there on the Panhandle. She's a pharmacist, of course. Hard-working lady, has her own business. Favourite for the overall as well, of course, at these Worlds. Oh, geez, almost in the hole there at 3 ball, but she's okay. Wow, she's going to run the pass. She's through to the final. She shakes her head. I don't know how close that was. To me, it looked really close to her falling, but maybe not. Maybe she already always had it under control. But wow, that would have been the biggest upset almost of world's history, you would think. But she manages to get through. Hopefully, we're going to get a slow-mo replay on that one, because we've been having a few issues with the webcast. But I'm pretty excited to see that again, because that was nervous times for Regina.
Yeah, that was huge. That would have been a runoff between Hannah and Erika if you had fallen.
Yeah, that's right. But now they can towel off and reach to the talcum powder now, those two, because unfortunately they're gone from the slalom final. Regina Jacques now under the 11.25 metre. And once she's finished her set, we'll run through who's made it through to the slalom final. Congratulations to all of them. We now know who our 12 finalists are. And there comes the 11.25. 38 off if you're watching back home. In the United States, your very famous USA competitor, Regina Jacques. That's a good start on 1. Round 2, great 2 ball, 11.25. Round 3, she's looking good. Round 4, great 4 ball. Heads across the 5, and there we go. That's sensational skiing. Through the 11.25, so 3 competitors complete the 11.25 in the woman. That is great skiing, really good skiing.
Absolutely.
And she'll shorten now onto the 10.75 because best score of the day so far, 3 on this next pass by Manon Castard from France. Don't forget, we go on to the trick event immediately following this. It's men's tricks, the top 2 seeds, so that's going to be very exciting. I'll have Grant Barnett in commentary doing expert comments with me on that one.
Yep, Aussie legend.
Aussie legend, he certainly is. And then we're going to have a little bit later on too, we're going to have the great man Jarrett Llewellyn come in and help out with a bit of the men's jump. But I've certainly enjoyed my time here with you, Philippa.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. I've enjoyed it too.
Oh, thanks. And it's good to have the local feel as well. And it's kind of a thing around the world now with lady commentators. I don't know if you get that here in Malaysia, but we have it at home. They're trying to get more females into watching male-dominated sports like rugby, cricket, things like that. That rugby league, that lady comments. It's good to see. Need more of them, if you ask me. Here we go. Here is Regina Jacques. This is the 10.75 metre line. Round 1, oh, not the best one, but she pulls hard for 2. Round 2, she's getting across the 3. This is great skiing. Yeah, judges call on whether she went around 3. We'll wait and see. She's happy. Put your hands together. That was a magnificent skiing. Regina Jacques. So I got a feeling Manon Castard might have just pipped her for the top seed in the final. It's not going to make any difference, really. It all comes down to who skis the best on the final day. Well, that's a good result. We had a few upsets there. Unfortunately, a few of the top slalomers didn't make it through. But congratulations to the 12 ladies that have made the final. We'll just run through the list now. The 12 finalists will be, of course, first out in the final will be Sadie Ferguson from Australia. The youngsters made it through to the final with half on the 11. Then, of course, we've got Gina Kruger, Celine Dietrich, and Alice Bagnoli, all with 1 at 11. They're through to the final. Then a big moment for New Zealand with Kiwi Jamie Metcalf with 2 at 11. She's through as well. Maria Kuglavan of Peru, she made it through to the final. Brooke Baldwin as well. Those 3 ladies all with 2 on the 11.25. Then France's Amber Frank with 3 at 11.25 through to the final. Whitney McClintock-Rini, 5 at 11, almost ran that 11.25. She's through to that ladies slalom final. And then, of course, Jamie Bull, 1 at 10.75. Regina Jacques was 2 at 10.75, confirming that score. And Manon Castard will be our top seed going into that final. And with 3 on the 10.75. Great round of slalom. New course record. Previous course record before today was 2 at 11. We've now got a course record here at Putrajaya of 3 on the 10.75 metre. So great stuff. Conditions held pretty nice in the end. We had a half-hour rain delay in the middle of it. But we're going to be back any old tick of the clock. We don't have a lot of spare time up our sleeves. So we're going to be back as soon as we can with the men's tricks elimination round, seed 2 and seed 1. So it's going to be sensational. I'll be joined in commentary by Grant Barnett. He'll be up here very shortly, I'm sure. And we look forward to that. I think we'll go off air just for a few minutes and run a few ads. But when we come back, we'll be back with the men's tricks. Tom, can you put some ads on, mate? Please.
Okay, mate.
Awesome. You're on.
Putrajaya, Malaysia this August to watch the world's best water skiers in action. Don't miss it.
Watch the best water skiers in the world compete at the 2019 World Waterski Championships in Putrajaya, Malaysia.
Okay, welcome back, folks, to Putrajaya, the World Champs 2019. We're about to get underway with Series 2 Men's Tricks Elimination Round. It's about 1:45 Malaysian time, so we've got a full program this afternoon. Seed 2 of Tricks, Seed 1 of Tricks, all the best men's trickers in the world, and then we have some jump to finish off, the top 2 seeds of ladies jump. So not too long if we take a look down at the start dock, I think, and we will have our first competitor leaving the dock. Or is that a phantom pass? A bit hard to see.
Great to see the girls slaloming so well, wasn't it, Glenn? In that that series 2 and 1, fantastic skiing, and cream really rising to the top towards the end. You knew it was going to happen. Some of the girls struggled through 12 metres, and the earlier girls out in seed 2 and 1, but certainly with. As the girls, the solid seeds came in, they really stood up and slalom fantastically well. Regina, Whitney and Manon, of course.
Yeah, we see it. I mean, you've spent a lot of time, just like I have, watching Moomba Masters live on the air, and you quite often see people struggle a little bit, and the lower seeded guys, and they struggle at Moomba, and it's too rolly, it's too this, but the top skiers always come out, don't they? And they always rise to the occasion. And that's what we saw today, and it was great to see. Great to see. I mean, obviously for New Zealand, we got Jamie Metcalf in the final, which is huge for us. You guys, of course, Sadie Ferguson, youngster.
Yeah, it was really pleasing for Sadie. We weren't quite sure earlier on, just with her half at 11.25, but as all the competitors came out, that looked like it was going to end up like a score that was going to make it through, which is fantastic for her. So well done to Sadie and all the girls who have made the women's slalom final.
It was great to see. So we're going to men's tricks coming up very shortly. Well, this is a good story. I've just noticed this. Rodrigo Miranda is first up, and then his stepson Martin Labra will be second off. So I don't know whether he's going to jump in and release with his wet shorts on or not for the young fella, or whether they've got someone else releasing. So that's a real family story there. The 2 Chileans up first. Then we go to the Ukraine Alexander Samolov, Belarus Stepan Shpak, Great Britain's Rob Hazelwood, France's Tanguy Deland, Italy's Nicholas Benatti, Canada's Guillaume Tidrolt, and then of course Russell Gay. So that's seed 2 tricks, but I'm going to say every one of these trickers is capable of more than probably 8,500 points. So it's
absolutely. There's some really talented high standard tricking in Series 2 there. Of course, the 9 competitors, and then we'll move back into Series 1 with 14 competitors there. So probably an hour and a half or so of tricking, or maybe a little more than that before we then move into some jump a little bit later this afternoon.
That's correct. So it shouldn't be too long. Should get a camera shot down at the start dock so we can get a bit of an idea of what's going on here, because the way I'm going today we'll probably miss a trick ride. There goes the boat back down to the start dock. The beautiful Putrajaya landscape. And
there's some serious tricking to come in Series 1 as well, Glenn, isn't there? You look at the names there, Felipe Miranda all the way, Adam Sotomayor, Doreen Llewellyn, of course, Louis Diplon, and then a whole host of guys who are up around that sort of 9,000, 10,000, and then you move into the echelon of around 11,000, 12,000 points tricking. It's going to be really exciting to see what these guys can do this afternoon. Around about, we've got 23 trickers in all between Series 2 and 1. And we're only a couple of moments away from getting a start with Rodrigo Miranda from Chile.
Absolutely huge. And if you look at the start of Series 1 tricks there, those first 4 or 5 skiers, that is probably the whole story around overall, isn't it? Men's overall. I mean, we've got Martin Coleman at the end. He's involved with that, but there's huge. Those first 4 or 5 trickers in that Seed 1, which will be coming up after Seed 2. Looks like we're going to do another phantom pass here, so still not quite ready for a start. But yeah, those guys, you know, your Felipe Mirandas, your Joel Polans, Adam Sotomayor, Doreen Llewellyn, all those guys, of course, fighting it out for the overall title. So that's to come up a little bit later on.
Yep, most certainly. So if you've been watching on at home, we did have a storm that came through around about an hour or so ago, stopped the slalom event for around about 45 minutes or so. It was great though, Glenn, to see that the 2 last girls got the same conditions as everybody else. That was really, really important. They did, so well down to Candido and all of the team to making sure that happened. finished off slalom, and we're just a couple to schedule. Of course, we've got plenty of jump action to come this afternoon as well, with Series 2 women's jump and Series 1. And looking down the field there's some great jumping action to come later on this afternoon. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, of course, it's a little bit nicer for you in relation to time and things. Stick around and make sure you watch the webcast right here at World Waterskiers right through to the rest of the day, because we've got some great jump action coming up in Series 2 women's jump 2 and 1.
Yeah, that's correct. And of course, around the world, Europe will be waking up about now, I'm sure, so they'll get to watch a bit of this webcast. And of course, around this part of the world, it's pretty viewer-friendly times. I know back home in New Zealand, it's coming up to 5 p.m, so it's a bit of evening watching, of course, prime time viewing. As we await the towboat. So yeah, I reckon a great story here. Rodrigo Miranda, of course, his first tricking, and then his young stepson, young 13-year-old Martin Labra, will be second off behind him. So not sure whether they're going to share a release person, or if Rodrigo's going to jump in the boat wet and release for his stepson. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But a great story.
All right, great. So just some news, folks. Those folks who might be logging in through the World Waterskiers web page, unfortunately, there seems to be a technical issue there. But the official Instagram page for World Waterskiers is the fastest way to get through to us today in regards to the webcast. And there should be a link there for you on YouTube or Facebook as well. So WWS, IWWF YouTube page, and you should be able to find the World Waterskiers link there to get you a direct feed for the live stream here this afternoon of Men's Series 2 tricks and Series 1. We do apologise for the technical issue there. We should have that updated a little bit later this afternoon, we hope. So just a reminder again, folks, if you are trying to tune in for our webcast here this afternoon, just search for World Waterskiers over at YouTube. You should be able to find the link there, and that will give you a direct feed into us here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We do apologise for the technical difficulties on the server for World Waterskiers, but you can simply go to the YouTube and search for World Waterskiers. That will give you a direct link straight here to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, for the Open Men's Series 2 tricks and 1 coming up. We've got a tricker on the water, and it is Rodrigo Miranda, Glenn, from Chile.
Yeah, and a great servant of World Waterskiing. He's been around a wee while. I think his first ever World Championships was the 1996 Under-17 Worlds, where he skied at 13 years of age. So it gives you a bit of an idea of how long he's been around the sport. So he's going to start toe 5 back, toe 8 back-to-backs. Great stuff. Really good jumper. One of the world's best jumpers, probably top 10, obviously top 10 jumper in the world. So over the rope he goes. This is great tricking from Rodrigo. He's still got it going on from that famous waterski family out of Santiago in Chile. And that's a great pass. He's happy. Little half fist pump.
Yeah, nice stand-up pass there for Rodrigo Miranda from Chile. Nice toes, a little stretched at the end, Glenn, but he took it in all in his stride, and nice stand-up pass for him. So he'll go down the end and generally drop for around about 60 seconds before he comes back for his hand pass.
Yeah, because runs a ski school, tow ski rides in the family business at their site, Miranda's site in Santiago, Chile, and arguably the best water ski site in the world. I've been there a couple of times, and it really is a beautiful ski site. Calm, sensational place to be. Beautiful temperatures in the summertime, just watching the replay, he did get a bit stretched out on some of these last ski lines, but still great stuff. I actually noticed, I was wondering who was going to release him for these guys. I see Martin Coleman, the #1 ranked tricker in the world at the moment. He got in and jumped in to release Rodrigo, I think. So it's good to see the support there.
Yep, top seed in Series 1 men's tricks is Martin Coleman. So we've got 13 competitors coming up in Series 1 tricks, starting out with Felipe Miranda. And that should be coming up in probably around about 50 minutes or so. We've got 10 competitors in this Series 2 tricks. So we wait for Rodrigo Miranda to come back in for his second pass. Amazing scenes here in Putrajaya, Glenn. That's all of the buildings and the infrastructure around here. Lots of folks are wondering probably whether does it look as good live as what it does here on the webcast. Well, I can tell you it's better. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I would definitely put Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia on my bucket list of places to visit. It's a beautiful place, beautiful, clean city, modern city with super friendly people. And just enjoying my time immensely here, watching the world's best water skiers entertain the local crowds. Here's Rodrigo Miranda, happy with his toe pass, 2 20-second passes, of course. See if he can't back it up with a good hand pass. Past the first green buoy, waits for the second buoy, which is where he's allowed to start. Here we go, positional trick. Looks like it might be a ski line trick to start. Ski line 5 front. Back there, ski line, oh no.
Oh, down early, that is disappointing, Glenn, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a ski line back to back there, and he's fallen pretty early in that run, and that's disappointing.
Disappointing for his overall chance as well, Glenn. Obviously, great overall skier. Of course, he'll still have the jump event to come, and he's one of the best jump skiers in the world. So as we look at the replay here from World Waterski, starting out with the ski line 5 to the front, it just didn't look quite comfortable on the landing here, did he, Glenn? A little bit back and then a little bit rushed, and down he went. So very disappointing there for Rodrigo Miranda, and that will bring up Martin Lebra from Chile as well as our second competitor.
Yeah, just Martin's just 13 years of age. Now I saw him, I've seen him ski at a couple of junior worlds, but I saw him ski I think Moomba Masters 2 years ago, not this year, the year before, but at just 11 years of age. I think he tricked 8,000 points, so he's pretty classy sort of an outfit. So personal best up around getting close to 9,000 points, this young guy. And of course he's stepson of Rodrigo Miranda, so it's kind of one of those father-son moments here at the Worlds.
And just again, folks, those who might be trying to log through World Waterskis, there is a slight technical issue in the duration of the server there, so it's the best way to catch this live stream here from Putrajaya in Malaysia is to go straight to the World Waterskis YouTube page. So go to YouTube, search for World Waterskis, and then share that link with everybody to make sure that everybody's got a direct feed in here for the Series 2 men's tricks and Series 1 coming up very shortly as well. So Martin Lebra hopped in the water there, Glenn, ready to go, and you were saying he's the stepson of Rodrigo, who was just out a moment ago.
He is, and he's at a very young age, he's got himself as an 8,500, 9,000 point tricker, so very talented. Great young man. He was actually the junior worlds they had in Chile in 2016. He was only about 8 or 9 years old, and he was the front runner, the sort of the forerunner, and he went out before each event. So it's good to see, real family affair there. So he looks like he's starting with a toe 720 here to get going. Martin Labra.
Looks very, very comfortable, doesn't
Yeah,
he? Beautiful toe tricks here.
He's better than the old man, I can tell you that right now. He's piling the points on, moving a little faster than Rodrigo did. Toe wake lino, one of my favourite tricks. Toe wake line back to back, finish off with.
Put your hands together, folks. Beautiful stand-up pass. Well done to Martin Labra on his first pass. Great tricking, Glenn. Looked really comfortable right from the get-go, didn't he? He's obviously had some great coaching from Rodrigo and Felipe as well. I'm really excited to see what he can do here on his second pass. He's got the gloves on as well, Glenn. I noticed a lot of the trickers these days wearing the gloves, which is interesting to see. Certainly is not something you'd see back in our day,
was it? Not back in the day, mate, no. But yeah, of course the Miranda family, I think I'm right in saying, also own a house at Curry Picos's place. So Although it gets kind of cold, we'll just watch this replay. And he's very quick. He is getting through these toe tricks very quick. You know, he probably almost as quick as a 10,000 plus point tricker. Beautiful toe weight line O. There's high scoring tricks right at the end there. But yeah, no, so it gets kind of cold in Santiago, Chile in the winter, which is this time of year, I guess. And they do spend a bit of time up there at Corey Picos as well. So I'm sure not only coached by his dad, but I'm sure the likes of Corey Picos, Adam Picos, maybe Martin Coleman, who's releasing, helping out a bit with this young man's development.
So the storms have cleared and we've got a beautiful afternoon coming up. Of course, we have 10 competitors in Series 2 men's tricks. This is our second competitor. We'll then move into Open Men's Series 1 and we have 13 competitors there, or 14 I believe, for Series 1. So a couple of hours of tricks and then we'll move on into some jumping, into Series 2 and Series Women's Jump a little bit later this afternoon. And hopefully, Glenn, the conditions can stay exactly there as they were the last couple of days, because around about 2 o'clock, it seemed like someone had just turned the little switch and turned the headwind on. It was absolutely beautiful. And we had I think one of the best afternoons of jumping for a second day competition at World Championships for a very long time yesterday, didn't we?
We did, absolutely. Well, if anything, it's probably a little bit of a light head breeze there at the moment. So it's set up. Here we go, Martin Labra now. This will be his hand pass. Expect to see 5 or 6 flips here, I would think. This young man. Here we go. I think that'll be a positional trick, the first trick. Ski line tricks here. Started pretty well. Into the flips he goes. The ordinary flip, the reverse. Oh, the back landing actually. Has he got a reverse back landing? He does. He's piling the points on here. Back to front. Reverse back to front, super difficult trick. It's a back to back, and here we go over the rope. Went for the ski line 5 at the finish and fell. That's solid tricking now. You would think that'll be plus 8,000 points from this youngster, just 13 years of age. So let's just
absolutely amazing at 13 years of age. Watch on this replay here, so clean right from the start. Had a couple of bobbles in with a couple of flips. I think he's front to back here. And whee, that's often a little challenging, that reverse landing there, but finished it off really nicely. So for such a young competitor, Glenn, maybe his first World Championships, I'd likely say, this guy, Martin Labra, keep that name in your notebook, folks, because he is a future World Trick Champion right there. And we'll just have to wait and see. You never, ever know at World Championships where you might end up. So we'll wait for a score for Martin Labra from Chile, but a wonderful effort at his first World Championships.
Yeah, well, we go from one youngster to another youngster, because this young bloke, he's just, I think, 16 years of age. Alexander Samolov from the Ukraine. Yeah, so we'll bring you some scores. We'll just have to fire up our laptop here. We just remember the code, which we won't say over the air. And we'll start to bring you some scores as they come in. We've had 2 competitors, of course. Okay. We might call on our computer people here to come and help.
So Rodrigo Miranda going down a little bit early, so he'll score won't be what he was looking for, but a nice score through for Martin Labra here shortly, as we're just about to bring on Alexander Samolov from the Ukraine.
Yeah, so we haven't had a score yet. The scores, we've got scores up from the first couple of series. Remember, our current leader is Rafael de Osma with 69.50. Now that's from tricking yesterday, I think it was. So we'll have to wait. Still no score through for Rodrigo Miranda or Martin Labra. Here we go. Alexander Simonov, World Junior Jump Champion from last year at the Worlds in Madrid, Spain. Starting with the flips, just 16 years of age, from the Ukraine.
Interesting, Glenn, to see that he started as a hand pass first, not the toe pass, as many of our trickers have so far, even in the lower seeds. As he moves towards the end of his pass there. Very nice opening pass by Alexander Samolov. Exactly what he would be looking for.
It's great, super clean and very quick. It didn't have a lot of downtime between each flip. It landed nicely, went into the next one straight away. Super talented, the Ukrainians. they've got a magnificent program going, don't they? I'd love to know this key to their success in the Ukraine. They don't seem to have lots and lots of skiers, but the ones they do are just amazing. All good 3 event skiers.
Yeah, looking very clean here on the replay on the World Water Skiers here. Live webcast from Putrajaya here in Malaysia. This is our 3rd competitor in Series 2 men's tricks. As we wait for him to come back on his 2nd pass, which will be a toe pass. First one to do his toe pass for his 2nd pass. Most of the guys have been electing to do that on their 1st pass, so a little bit different. Generally around about a 60-second drop down the end.
Yeah, you see Ukrainian team coach here. We didn't quite get the close-up shot of him. Yuri, of course. He's a tough man. He's a hard man, but geez, he does a good job with that Ukrainian water ski team.
So no scores through yet for Rodrigo Miranda or Martin Labra. We'll wait on those scores to come through shortly, and we'll bring those to you as soon as they come up.
We need a refresh. How do we refresh, mate? Is that squirrely button up there, isn't it? Or is that going to... Oh yeah, here we go. We'll just watch this pass here of Alexander Salmonov, and then we can bring you our first 2 scores. He's going to be rope on toe. Looks like toe 5 back to start. Oh no. No, it is going to be a toe 5 40 to start. Leaving the start quite late here, but that's fine. Toe back to back, reverse toe back to back. Good, quick, smooth, clean tricking. Toe 5 front. A couple of toe O's. Toe wake 360 over the rope he goes. Toe wake line O, and he's gone down.
Whoa, an early fall there, Glenn.
Yeah, it was. Probably just rushed it a little bit. Got away from himself a little bit. What's the replay?
Great start here, and he looked really, really comfortable, didn't he? And then right into the toe 5 front. Love how fast that is. Reminds me of the old Tori Baggiano and Corey Picos days, but he just... There, he seemed to just look a little uncomfortable.
Certainly did. But
and he went down very quickly, so very disappointing for him. That'll be important for his overall score as well, of course.
Yeah, it will be, but I love the way, even though he was clearly falling off after the toe wake line out, he still threw the toe wake line back, kind of almost from underwater, so that was good commitment. Yeah, so we've got some scores through. Rodrigo Miranda, unfortunately, 32.70. That's a little low. He had a good toe run, remember, but fell on his 2nd trick and his hand pass. And Martin Labra, 6.9.10. Now, I thought he might have got a few more points than that, but I'm obviously wrong. So still, he's the lead at the moment, 6.9.10 from today's skiing. But still, that actually overall puts him in 2nd. And Rafael de Osma from yesterday is still leading with 69.50.
So Stepan Shpak will be our next competitor from Belarus. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you've logged in from around the world to watch the live webcast from World Water Skiers here at the IWWF 2019 World Water Ski Championships. Looks like he'll be starting with the toe pass first, Glenn.
Yeah, he's a solid guy. He's a very good 3 event skier, solid overall skier. That's one of the things I like, because I still like overall Grumpy. I think it's a great event, the overall. One of the things I love about the Eastern Europeans is that they are developing overall skiers, all 3 events. Toe wake back-to-backs, toe back-to-backs. Probably have a toe 5 front here. Going well. Toe wake 360. Toe wake line O. This is good stuff here. Piling the points on. Racing the clock. Oh, sensational. Good toe run.
Yeah, great opening pass from Stefan Shpak from Belarus. Looked really tidy all the way, didn't he? Right from the start, he looked nice and comfortable, unlike Alexander, who about halfway through looked just to lose it a little bit there. But Stefan looked very comfortable all the way through, so great opening pass, and we look forward to seeing what he can bring on his hand pass. Of course, Robert Hazelwood, the next competitor up after Stepan, and what a famous name in water skiing Hazelwood is. Glenn, it's great to see that tradition continue. Of course, the Hazelwood names have been around in world water skiing for, oh, gee whiz, maybe 20 or 30 years, or maybe a little bit longer.
A little longer even.
And great to see that name next to the GBR here this weekend.
Well, just watching a replay of this toe run. He's a bigger man than probably than the first few skiers we've had, so he's maybe not quite as graceful on a trick ski, but he's getting it done. So we got a trick score now through though for the Ukrainian Alexander Samonov, and it is a ripper, 8,230. Now, considering that he fell on that, was it a toe whack line O or toe whack line back? It wasn't his last trick. I think he still had another 5 seconds to run. He's that's a good score. It's possible he was heading towards sort of early 9,000s, even 9,500 points.
Yeah, you would have thought so. So 82.30, certainly no disaster, but probably certainly not what he was ideally looking for. But he has certainly shot to the lead at 8,230 points from Martin Labra at 6,910 and then Rodrigo Miranda at 3,270. Ideal conditions, Glenn, not much wind around. Looks like it's going to be very, very similar conditions for the jumpers this afternoon as we did yesterday, which is great to see. Obviously lots of consistency in relation to conditions so far for all of the athletes. That's exactly what we want to see at a World Championships. A really little slight breeze into Stepan's face as he comes back in for pass number 2, which will be his hand pass.
Okay, here we go. Into it now. Positional trick to start. Ski line 540. Ski line back to back, sorry. Going over the rope very nicely here. First flip is good. Back landing flip. Remember, they're only allowed to do 6 flips, but by geez, it helps you score if you can get all 6 of them. Back to back. Sensational stuff. Reverse back to back. Oh, that's a high scoring trick. Fell after he turned to the front. I'm not sure how the judges will see that, but that reverse back-to-back flip is high-scoring stuff. Watch him here, over the rope.
Yeah, great pass here from Stefan Spack from Belarus. He really looked comfortable right from the start, getting into the flips. Back landing was nice and comfortable there too as well for both of those. And then just got a little bit of strife for his back-to-back or his reverse back-to-back here. And that's a big high-scoring trick. But I think we might have a new leader there, Glenn. We'll wait for the score to come through, of course. Leader so far, Alexander Semilov from Ukraine with 8,230 points. The great tricking there from Stepan Spack from Belarus.
Yeah, so I think the last couple of world champs, we're probably looking at about 9,200, maybe 9,300 points to make the final. So we probably still haven't found a score yet that would get you into the final. Because it's a little bit, it's not really, because it's great conditions here for tricking, and, you know, everything's fine. We're probably going to see a lot of very high scores. I think we're going to see a lot of plus 10,000 point scores. It's probably a little bit more predictable that would happen than what would happen, say, in the slalom. We didn't quite know where the cut would be in the slalom.
Yep, that's exactly right. And there's 14 competitors in Series 1 tricks and only 12 to go through. So we've already got a score up into 8,230 with Alexander.
Yeah, so we've got Rob Hazelwood up next because, as you mentioned, very famous Waterski family. I'm thinking, you know, Uncle Mike Hazelwood, I would have thought was probably skiing at World Champs almost 40 years ago, really, when you think about it. Time flies.
Yep, late 70s and early 80s over there in London, Thorpe Park. Remember those Stadium Worlds
81,
in 81? What a great World Championships that was.
So Rob Hazelwood was a key component of the British team that won the Under-21 teams title in Canada just 6 weeks ago. I think it's fair to say himself and Joel Poland were the two mainstays of that team. Very talented 3-event skier. Now, Rob is an outside chance here for overall. I'd say he probably ranks somewhere around 6th or 7th in overall at this tournament. So, you know, if he can get a good trick score here, it puts him in good stead in the overall event. Toe whack line O looks good. He's piling the points on here. Loses a little bit of time there, but it's a high scoring trick, so you make sure of it. Couple of basic tricks to finish off. Solid stuff. Maybe just lost a little time, but still he stands up at the end, which is the main thing.
Yeah, nicely done from Robert Hazelwood. It looked a little bit tentative right at the start there in the first sort of 5 or 6 tricks, but as he progressed down his run, he looked a lot more comfortable. Maybe a little bit nervous here on the first few opening tricks, but as the pass went on, he certainly looked a lot more comfortable. And a nice opening pass from Robert Hazelwood from Great Britain. As you said, Glenn, an amazing performance from them over at the Under-21 World Championships just a couple of weeks ago to take out their first ever World Team title. And they will certainly be one of the favourite contenders here. Of course, the powerhouse of the United States, Canada, France, and Great Britain are all here. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Of course, all of the Series 1 and 2 competitors in men's and women's will be coming up over the next couple of days. So a great opportunity to tune into World Waterskies and catch all of them. And again, if you have struggled over the last couple of hours or so to go through the server or the website from World Waterskies, there was a technical issue there. So you can go across to their YouTube page. So go to YouTube, punch in World Waterskies, and you'll be able to follow the direct live feed here from Putrajaya here in Malaysia. Gone just after 1:15 in the afternoon. We've had a large storm that came through around about an hour and a half ago. Held up the last couple of slalom skiers in Series 1 women's slalom, but we did manage to bring them through and give them exactly the same conditions as we did for the rest of Series 1 and 2, which was great to see. And we've now moved into the men's trick. This is Series 2 preliminary round with Robert Hazelwood on the water. Great opening pass for his first one, Glenn, and he'll be coming back in for his second, and we wish him well.
Yeah, we certainly do. So we look forward to this. So what you're kind of saying is, if you can't see or hear us right now on the webcast, listen to this. Try the YouTube. But anyway, sorry.
That's exactly right.
Here we go. Great opening toe pass. Very exciting. Like all these youngsters nowadays, their flipping is just amazing. Here we go. That's a tough trick to open up with. Both back-to-back flips are good. Front flip, sensational stuff. Ordinary flip. Back landing. Back to front. That's 6 flips. He's into the ski lines now. This is great tricking from Rob Hazelwood. Really good tricking. I'll tell you what, he's going to be happy.
Wow.
Big fist pump.
Absolutely. He deserves to be pleased with that. That was fantastic tricking, wasn't it, Glenn?
2 reasons. One is that he gives himself a good shot at the final, but probably the main reason is how good is that going to be for his overall? It's
wonderful tricking as we look at the replay here on the World Waterskiers webcast. Coming in, he really opened it up with a back-to-back, and he looked comfortable right from the start, and that's so important with these flips as well. Really, as you said, a difficult trick to open with, but he landed that maybe a little bit short, but then he got right into things. Another back landing there. And from then on, he really was very committed. And that's exactly what you need at a World Championships. Lots of experience over the last 6 weeks, of course, in the Under-21 Worlds in Canada. So Great Britain, a great start here with Robert Hazelwood. 2 stand-up passes, and we'll wait for a score to come through.
Yeah, of course, Robert recovering from an injury, actually. He had a injury, one of those ones, he put his arm, I think, through the slalom handle, slaloming, and it's taken a wee while, but he came back sort of just in time for those Under-21 Worlds in Canada, and he's in all sorts of form. He actually broke, I don't know, I can't remember exactly where it was, we'll say 6 months ago, he broke his cousin Will Ash's Under-21 British slalom record, I think, so he's, slalom is actually probably his best event, but that's magnificent trick skiing. So well done, Rob Hazelwood. Yep,
Fantastic tricking from Robert. As we just check a leaderboard again. Alexander Semilov out in the lead, or sorry, Stefan Schmack from Belarus with 8,790 from Alexander Semilov with 8,230. As our next competitor, Tanguy Dalen from France for pass number 1.
Yeah, very strong overall skier. This guy, I remember him jumping last night as well. He jumped fairly well. Good, strong, like all French competitors. Very strong trick skier. He's looking the goods at the moment. Beautiful toe line tricks. Toe line back to back. Oh, it's reverse toe hook line back to back to finish. Solid stuff. There's something special about the French tricking program, isn't there? They just keep producing magnificent trick skiers year after year.
Very similar styles as well, Glenn, when you watch them toe trick with their hands, the French. They do it very, very well. A little bit of a nervous start there, but he looks nice and comfortable midway through his pass. Toe wake O here. Toe wake. Nice tricking from Tanguy Delon from France. A little bit stretched here at the end,
Really
but
good.
got that last toe wake line back to back in. And he'd be very happy with that opening stand-up pass.
Yep, so we're just waiting for some scores to come through, and we have got a couple of very high scores have just come through. We've got a trick score here, folks. Robert Hazelwood, 9,420. That's the sort of score that gets you into a trick final, 9,420. And also another good score here from Stepan Shchap from Belarus with 8,790. So two very, very good scores. But that one from Robert Hazelwood, 94.20. Paris 2 years ago, that would have got him into the final. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. It's a high caliber of trick skiers here, but that's still a great score.
Yeah, great tricking and a great team score as well for Team GB.
Yep.
They'd be very happy with 9,420 points. Of course, another tricking coming out from Great Britain in Series 1 will be Joel Poland as well. Looking forward to his tricking. And what an absolute talent he is as
Absolutely.
well. Team GB, hats off to them. They've got some amazing talent out there at the moment. We wish them well over the next few days of competition here in Putrajaya here in Malaysia.
Yeah, so Tanguy Delon, he's had a good first pass. He's just up there, just left the water actually. Heading in for his hand pass. Expect a lot of ski lines and a lot of flips. Amazing, the trick skiing. You know, the amount of hours that go into practicing tricks is just phenomenal. My hat goes off to these guys. Here we go. Looks like he's going to start with a flip. Back-to-back flip. And the reverse. High-scoring stuff. Quickly into the front flip. Sensational stuff. What do we got? A back landing. Reverse back landing. He is just piling the points on here. It's sensational. Really good stuff. 6 flips in quick succession. Ski line tricks. He's racing the clock. Remember, 20 seconds to get through as many as he can. This is great tricking. Oh, sensational.
Wow, great tricking from Tanguy Delon. Yeah, put your hands together, folks. Amazing second pass from him.
Well, to me, that looks 9,500 points, maybe a little more. That's sensational.
We're certainly very close to Robert Hazelwood's score of 9,420. Yeah, great second pass from Tanguy Delon from France. Of course, the French, as you said, Glenn, have produced some great trick skiers over the years. None other than Patrice Martin. Yeah. He was one of the great overall skiers of all time.
Yeah, Patrice is here too at these Worlds. So I caught up with him last night up in the bar at the hotel at the completion of skiing. It's great to see him here. I guess he's the president of the French Federation now, so he's probably we've got the Congress meeting tonight, I think it is.
I would think so.
Yeah,
yep.
so
he would be there. So
he
did a great job with the Paris World Championships a couple of years ago. So nice to have Patrice here. As Tanguy Delon had 2 stand-up passes, and we'll wait to score for Tanguy in just a moment. Of course, Robert Hazelwood in the lead at the moment with 9,420 points.
Okay, we've got Nicholas Benatti from Italy now. Not a skier I've seen a lot of myself. The fact he's into this series, though, would suggest he's capable of 9,500 points, so look forward to this. Still waiting on a score to come through for Tanguy Delon. Here he comes. He's going to start rope on toe by the look of it. So here we go, the young Italian now. He's starting possibly with a toe 720 by the look of it. High scoring toe trick. Toe wake back to backs. Getting through his work. Really good stuff here. Toe weight 540. Sensational. Great tricking, high scoring stuff. Just finishing up. I can't wait to see the replay on that because he wrapped up out of the toe O wrap position. A lot of guys go for a toe wake O, but I'm pretty sure that was a toe wake 5, so great tricking.
Yeah, as we have a look at the replay here, the World Water Skiers replay for Nicholas Bonatti from Italy. Looked pretty comfortable right through the pass. A couple of wobbles towards the end, Glenn, but overall a really nice opening pass. Oh, lovely
toe wake line
toe
540,
wake line,
yeah.
5 back. Toe step back to back and the reverse. Come up a little bit short there, but hopefully no problem.
Mate, I wouldn't recommend trying that one at home, folks. The toe wake line 540. Unless you had a seriously had a lot of trust in your release person, I would have thought.
Yep, difficult trick. And of course we've got 13 or 14 of the best in the world coming up in Series 1 tricks. Starting in around about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you're a trick fan, stick around, folks, because we're going to start out with Felipe Miranda from Chile. Then move into Joel Poland. And we've got 14 competitors in the Series 1. Around about 5 or 10 minutes ago. So Nicholas will come back for his second pass. We'll hold him for about 60 seconds. And he's sitting down just a little bit in front of where the training venue was for a lot of our athletes, Glenn, over the last couple of weeks. A little facility called Godzilla down there, another slalom course and jump. Little arm of this particular lake here in Putrajaya. And a great spot for athletes to train over the last couple of weeks. Also, there's been quite a bit of training happening here, of course, on the World Stadium site as well. So the athletes have been switching between the two.
Yeah, we see that a lot now, don't we, at World Championships? Maybe not so much at the last Worlds in Paris, but a lot of sites now have, more than one lake or more than one site, and a lot of training happens for the teams during the World Championships. Here we go now. Nicholas Bonatti from Italy. And he's started really well with a good toe pass. Let's see how he goes on hand. Great start with a couple of flips. Oh, there's a bit of a mobe in that one. Front flip, this is high scoring stuff. Back landing. Regular flip. Ski line O. Ski line back to back, and he's running out of time, but he's just having fun out there now. Over the rope he goes. That's really good stuff.
Great tricking there. Great tricking from Nicholas Bonatti from Italy. Put your hands together, folks. 2 stand-up passes. He started out with some fantastic flips here, didn't he, Glenn? Looked really nice right from the start.
Yeah, there's one here. I think it's the third flip where he's got the 360 in the air as well as a flip.
Right there. Absolutely magnificent. And could we have a new leader? We have a score through from Tanguy Daylan from France, 9,100 points. So he slots into second position behind Robert Hazelwood at 9,420. And Stepan Špak from Belarus at 8,790. So they are your leaders. We'll get a score through shortly for Nicholas Bonatti, and I'm tipping, Glenn, that might slip him into around about second spot, possibly up into first. We'll just have to wait. There were some high-scoring flips in that particular second pass, so we'll wait for a score to come through.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of those flips are 800 or 900 points each, aren't they? So there's some real high-scoring stuff. He also started with, I think from memory, started with a toe 720 as well, which, although maybe a little slower than the toe 5 back, obviously worth more points. Okay, so we're going to Canada now, and it's Guillaume de Trot, I think is how we pronounce it, obviously from the French part of Canada, the eastern end of Canada. And he's up and out of the water. He's going to start rope on toe. Guillaume de Trot from Canada, skiing I believe is an independent, a trick specialist, I believe. Oh, geez, maybe not the best toe reverse wake back to back, but he's piling it on. He's going really quick here. Bit of a bobble. He's just looking a little unsettled. He's going to have to settle down. Toe wake line, oh, big spray in the face there. He's going over the rope, right over with a wake back to back, reverse, toe wake back to back over the rope. Oh, I don't know, Grant. We'll watch the replay. It looked a little bit hairy to me, a little bit helter-skelter out there.
No points for style, but he certainly got there, Glenn, in the end, and that's all he needed to do. He hung in there, bobble around right from the start, but he really did knuckle down and made it right through the end for a stand-up pass, which is exactly what we wanted. We'll have to wait for the score to see whether he got clearance on all of those particular tricks. We'll also wait for a score through from Nicholas Benati. We'll see where that places him. Still waiting for a score for him. Our leader so far, Robert Hazelwood, at 9,420. Followed by Tanguy Dayland from France at 9,100.
Just watching the replay at the moment, and just bobbles that lose a bit of time here, but he keeps going. Be interesting. See what a score is there.
Not the prettiest, but he got there in the end.
He did, and he stood up and he kept skiing and good on. In fact, very little falls, hasn't there, really? There's been a lot of pick-eyes fall here. They're standing up. You know,
that's exactly what we want to see too, don't we?
Back in our day, Grant, of course, lots of guys falling off midway through passes, that sort of thing. But nowadays, they so often stand up both passes.
Still no score through yet for Nicholas Benati from Italy. So just the two competitors remaining here in Series 2 tricks. Of course, our last competitor of the day, Russell Gay, the veteran from the United States, skiing as an independent trick skier. And what a talent Russell has been over the years. Of course, his daughter skiing here this afternoon as well, or this morning in women's slalom. We'll look forward to her in the trick event, her pet event coming up tomorrow, Glenn.
Here we go. Canadian athlete Guillemere de Trot. Flipping away here. Over the rope he goes, bit of a bobble, but he's okay. Oh, ski line 540 front is a hard trick to do, and he's done a front flip there. Well,
and the reverse.
This is great stuff. Racing the clock.
Wow, put your hands together, folks. What a
different
great
kind of
effort.
Run, but he got it done, didn't he, Grant? It's great stuff from our Canadian competitor.
It really was a little bit of a mirror image of his toe pass, wasn't it? He didn't look particularly comfortable all the way, but he just got it done in the end. And a couple of backs-to-backs to start out with. Ski line O, and then getting into some a little bit more traditional type of hand tricks here before throwing in some few big ones right at the end. A huge big front flip. Looks like a wakeboard trick there, Glenn. All the way out in the flats, but he got there.
Yeah, you wonder whether he lost a bit of time. Maybe that last flip won't be in time, but if both front flips are in time, that's a high-scoring run. Oh, we've got a score through here, and it is, well, I think we've got a score through here. We've got, I think we're going to see a score for Nicholas Benati in excess of 10,000 points here. We might have our first 10,000 point run. Yep, we've got the scores comes through for Italy's Nicholas Benati, and it is 10,010 points, folks. So he's through, you'd think, to the final, although you can't even say that yet because a lot of skiers still to go. There's still 15, I think, 16 scores to come. So that's a great result, though. Italy's Nicholas Benati through with got 10,010 points.
Yep, first 10,000 point score here at these 2019 IWWF World Waterski Championships from Nicholas Benati. Nicholas, congratulations. 10,010.
Okay, we've got Russell Gay now, of course. As you mentioned earlier, his daughter Anna is competing at these World Champs on the US team. Russell gets tricking as an independent. Obviously still ranked in the top 10 in the world. Toe 720. Super fit guy, Russell. Had a bit of a chat to him on Monday. And still runs 10 to 20 miles per day. This guy, that's a long. I mean, we work in kilometres in New Zealand, but that's quite a long way. He's a super fit guy. The old hands in the water, keeping him afloat out there. Falls at the end. I think that last trick's probably out of time anyway, or right on the buzzer. But he certainly got it done, didn't he?
Yeah, nice opening pass from Russell. He'd be pretty happy with that, going out right at the end. Might have missed, I don't think he missed anything really towards the end there. A little bit of a slap of the water, but...
Yeah, slap the water, so it wasn't perfect. But, I mean, I thought this was pretty good. That's a great trick. Watch this one. Toe line 540. This one's great because he lands, puts his hands in the water to push himself up again. And falls at the end.
It might have been a toe front there at the end there, or toe wake front, but didn't miss much.
About missing the toe front at the end, maybe, I don't know.
He'll jump in the boat. All of these athletes get the opportunity to climb back in the boat, take them down to the end and drop them for exactly 60 seconds. Complete consistency here at these World Waterski Championships, Glenn. We've seen that right through all of the seeds. With men's and women's, anything to do with slalom tricks or jump, everyone has had the identical same conditions so far, which is exactly what we want to see.
It's perfect, yeah. Real commitment. And hat off to the guy, I think it was Larry Gisler of Argentina this morning, when we had that half-hour rain delay with the thunderstorm, torrential rain, to keep the conditions the same for the women's slalom, as he kept that boat running up and down the slalom course for half an hour in torrential rain, and that's exactly what we need. It might sound silly, but we get the same wave pattern for all of those lady slalomers across 2 days with probably close to 60 competitors. I think you could arguably say that we had pretty much identical conditions for all of our ladies, which is amazing, really.
Yeah, we certainly did. So hands off to Candido and all his team, who are doing a wonderful job here. Of course, the crowds will be flocking in over the next 3 or 4 days. Glenn, as we come into the finals on Saturday and Sunday, we've got a magnificent 2,000-seat stadium here in Putrajaya. It's wonderful to have our athletes showcasing their talents in front of a stadium's World Championship site for the first time in a long time. You think back of many years ago, the stadium type of sites, Thorpe Park in London, then you had Roquebrune in France. Of course, Toulouse in '87 was a wonderful site. There's been great stadium World Championship sites, and it's great to have our athletes being able to showcase their talents, and I'm sure that stand will be absolutely chock-a-block come Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, Russell Gay now. He'll be coming back in on hand. I'm not sure if he still holds it, but former US record holder. In fact, he's had personal best over 12,000 points now. As good as tricking is in the world at the moment, I think there's still only maybe 4 or 5 trickers that have ever tricked over 12,000 points, and Russell Gay's one of them. So he's certainly got the creds. Starts with a back to front flip and a front flip. Great stuff from Russell Gay. This is really good flipping. Line 5. This is really clean. Tell you what, if he can finish this off on a high note, and he does.
Well, that's super clean, Glenn. That's really great
really
tricking. Well done. Put your hands together, folks. Russell Gray, the veteran from the United States. Venture to say that's going to be pretty close to above 10,000 points.
I think so.
Great tricking from Russell here as we look at the replay from World Waterskiers. Starts out with the back to front flip there. Very super clean here. As we've had a score come through for the Canadians, 7,410 points. And we'll get a score for Russell as soon as that comes through. So out in the lead still from Italy, Nicholas Bonatti with 10,010. Robert Hazelwood in second, 9,420. And Tanguy Dayland from France with 9,100. So we'll wait for a score from Russell. I venture to say that's going to be pretty close to our current leader, Glenn.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be up. You know, it's just his last couple of toe tricks that he lost, and whether that affects him too much, you know, we don't know what the run's worth. Maybe the run's worth 11,000, so he can afford to drop those off. But it will be close to 10,000 points, I think, for Russell Gay. So we move now into our number 1 seeding now, of course. And a big moment coming up with this next skier, because he is, of course, the defending overall champion at these World Champs. He won, of course, in Paris in 2017. He's two-time world overall champion. A great overall battle we're going to have this year, possibly the greatest overall battle of all time. And Pepe Miranda, this is the first time he's going to ski at these World Championships. Defending overall champion, and you know yourself how important tricks is towards an overall score. So
and this is going to be some of the most exciting 45 minutes of the championships, Glenn, because, or the most important part of the championships, because this preliminary round is extremely important, whether these guys get a second shot in the finals for the overall score, as well as Felipe Miranda from Chile comes in for pass number 1.
Yep, toe 720 to start. Out of, of course, Santiago in Chile. Wonderful sight Miranda's have. Just lost a little bit of time there on that traverse topic back to back. He's getting it, bobbling around. He's fighting to stay on. Wow, he's had to change his run a little bit here too. He's thinking on the fly at the moment. He's still getting the points, so credit for that. But it was a little bit of a jumbled mess in the middle, you got to say. And he's a little disappointed in himself. But it could have been worse because he could have fallen mid-pass. And we'll watch the replay, but probably not exactly what he was looking for, rope on toe.
Yeah, he looked a little bit shaky there, but as many of our competitors in Series 2, he seemed to just pull through and make it all the way through to the end, which is exactly what we need them to do. As we were saying earlier, that this next 45 minutes or so, folks, will be extremely important for many of these athletes for their overall scores, not just their trick performances. Of course, lots of specialist trickers in our Series 1 field. As we take a look at the replay from Felipe Miranda. Looked like he did change things up a little bit right around there, wasn't it, Glenn? I'm not quite sure what he had there, but he did seem to pull through at the end. And a pretty happy look on his face as well.
Yeah, so, well, he's obviously stood up that pass. We've got a score here through for Russell Gay, folks. This is a good one,
wow.
too. 10,140, takes the lead. Russell Gay, that gives him a real good chance of making this final.
Wow, great tricking from Russell Gay. Congratulations, Russell. You are in the lead. 10,140 points ahead of Nicholas Bernardi, who sits back at 10,010, and Robert Hazelwood in third position at the moment with 9,420. So a new leader, Russell Gay from the Independent from the United States at 10,140 points.
I mean, there's never been a world's trick event where you had to trick over 10,000 to make a final. I think the cut is normally around somewhere in the 9,000s. Around, I think last year 9,400. So you'd think these scores coming through with 10,000 points would be through to the final, but we actually can't say that because we look down this field. It's a huge field, and you know, it's possible that everyone in the final will trick over 10,000 to get there. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, big moment now for the overall title, Pepe Miranda. Two-time world overall champion. She's, you know, win 3 world overall titles. You start getting up there with the absolute elite of our sport. Good stuff. He's going quick here, actually. He's getting through a lot of flips quickly here. Really good stuff. Into the ski lines now. Ski line O. This is turning out to be a really good hand pass. He'll be running out of time here, trying to get every last trick in. He's happy.
Well done, Felipe. Put your hands together, folks, for one of the real overall contenders here at the 2019 World Waterski Championships. Felipe Miranda, 2 stand-up passes. A little shaky on the toes, but that was a much better pass on his hands, Glenn.
Yeah, really good. High-scoring hand pass. You know, to me, looked like probably more than 6,000 points from his hand pass, you know, which gets him up close to 10,000, if not over 10,000 points.
We've really only had a couple of competitors go down mid-pass, either on first or second pass, which is fantastic to see. And Felipe again having 2 stand-up passes here, and brings great confidence to all of the athletes to come, Glenn. They see their fellow competitors going out and doing 2 stand-up passes, exactly what we want to see from our Series 1 competitors.
Yeah, like I said, 2-time world overall champion. You know, if he could pull it off another overall title, he might have one more men's overall title left in him. We'll have to see, although he's got a lot of very good skiers to compete with at these worlds. But if you win 3 world overall titles, that puts you up in a pretty elite bunch, doesn't it? When you
pretty amazing company. You think of the likes of Sammy Duval, Patrice Martin,
Jarrett Llewellyn, maybe.
Jarrett Llewellyn, that's right. I'm not sure how. I don't know whether Jarrett's won 3, but Certainly Sammy won 3 or so, and then Patrice certainly won 3 or 4 as well. So it would put him in elite company. As Adam Sadelmeyer from the Czech Republic jumps into the water. He'll be coming in for pass number 1. Of course, an amazing talent himself. And a wonderful trick skier. So really looking forward to this opening pass from the great from the Czech Republic, Adam Sadelmeyer.
Okay, Joel Poland now, and I reckon one of the most, probably the most exciting young overall talent in the world right now. He's the under 21 world overall champion, of course, and a good chance of taking out this overall title. He's got to start off with a good trick run to start. That's an unusual trick to start with. Toe wake 5 back. This is good stuff, Joel Poland. He's a little bit just something unorthodox, isn't he, which makes him interesting, I think, skiing, especially with his tricking. You'll see some interesting flips coming up later in the hand run. Good stuff, Joel Poland. Oh, how does he do that? That's sensational. He's happy, the little fist pump. But I can't wait to see the replay on this. He's so far away from the boat with his upper body on those toe line tricks, but he can make sure he gets them.
Yeah, great tricking from Joel. Of course, I'm going to throw my running list out the window, Glenn, because it's the wrong one. We've got Joel Poland out there. My apologies for calling on Adam Sadelmeyer, but great tricking from Joel. Opening pass.
Watch this coming up now. Toe line there. He starts to get a little far away from the boat, like that. And how does he do that? I don't know. How strong are his legs? And how calm and collected is his release person? Because it was a big moment.
Of course, his fellow Brit earlier, Robert Hazelwood, went out and scored 9,420 points. And our leader so far, Russell Gay from the United States, 10,140. Nicholas Bonatti, the other competitor, over 10,000 at 10,010 points. And then back to Robert Hazelwood at 9,420.
It's starting to shape up as one of the great ones, isn't it? I think this could be the toughest men's trick final in history to make here, because we've already got 2 10,000 point scores. I'm looking down the list, and every one of these skiers can trick over 10,000 points. So it's going to be huge.
Yep, not a score through yet for Felipe Miranda from Chile. We'll bring you to that as soon as we possibly can. So Joel Poland from Great Britain. Stand-up pass, so his opening toe pass. We'll hold him for 60 seconds down the end before we bring him back in for his second pass. Great overall contender as well, Glenn, here at these championships.
He certainly is. He would be one of 4 or 5, I think, with a good chance of taking out the overall title. He's got that X factor, Joel Poland. I think one of those guys that is a big match player when it comes to these sorts of events. Exciting toe pass. Let's see how he goes on hand. He does a couple of flips in this run that are pretty unorthodox, and but they're worth a lot of points if they come off. Going well at the moment with the back-to-back stuff. Oh, geez.
Wow.
How good is that? Look at him go. Not even going to attempt to tell you what to call that flip, but it's a super high scoring. Over the rope he goes. This is turning out to be a great run from Joel Poland. He's running out of time, but he's flying over the rope. And, oh, well, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, great effort from Joel Poland from Great Britain. Put your hands together, folks. 2 stand-up passes. A little bit of a wobble there at the ski line back at the end. We'll have to wait and see whether that's going to get clearance, Glenn, but great effort from Joel. He'll be happy with that. That's certainly exactly what he needs for his overall score as well. Of course, his fellow Brit, Robert Hazelwood, already had a score of 9,420. Another great team score from Team GB there from Joel Poland. As a score comes through from Felipe Miranda, 7,920. Felipe Miranda, 7,920, so not quite what he's looking for.
No, it's not, and that's possibly not a great start for him in this overall quest. Look to win his 3rd world overall title. Very strong in jump, of course, Pepe Miranda, so he will make a lot of points up in that, but he probably was wanting to trick, I think, over 9,000, or at least get to 9,000 points. So it's okay, 7,920. It's in the ballpark, but maybe not quite the trick score that Pepe Miranda was looking for. Yep, so Joel Poland, I would have thought definitely over 9,000 points. Could even be up over 10,000 points. A lot of high scoring points there for Joel. It's just a matter of whether they're all in time. And that back to front flip, I think it is. Very high scoring point, very high scoring trick.
So we now do bring on Adam Saddlemeyer from the Czech Republic.
World record holder, of course, in overall.
Yep, another great overall contender. As we said earlier, these next 30 or 40 minutes could really play a huge part of who we see as our world overall champion for 2019, the all-important trick event, as Adam Saddlemeyer comes in for pass number 1.
Yeah, and of course he went into the overall race as the favourite in Paris, but he didn't, from memory anyway, he didn't have a great trick result. So that's why it's so important. We talk about getting off to a good start in the trick event when you're in an overall race. It's going pretty well at the moment. Adam Saddlemeyer, world record holder in the overall. Great.
What an opening pass from Adam Saddlemeyer. Put your hands together, folks. Alex King in the boat from New Zealand. Tap on the rope and said, well done. Great tricking. Starts with a toe 5 back, toe wake back to backs. He looked comfortable all the way, nice and confident. Of course, a very experienced competitor, Adam Saddlemeyer, as you say, world overall record holder.
Yeah, a little bit unusual in overall stakes. Most world-class overall skiers are strong in tricks and jump. I'm thinking Jarrett Llewellyn, Sammy Duval, that sort of thing. Maybe slalom's a little bit weaker, but with Adam, slalom's actually his strong event, so there's nothing wrong with his tricks and jump as well, but it's slightly different, I think, than a lot of our overall contenders here. But he starts off really well on his first toe run.
Another beautiful afternoon, Glenn. We've got some jumping to come. Of course, we are around about the third competitor in the Series 1 trick event. We've got some jumping to come this afternoon with Series 2 women's jump and Series 1 women's jump. So the conditions are looking absolutely perfect. Perfect for all of these competitors in slalom, trick and jump so far today. Day 3 of competition.
Yeah, and like you say, headwind at the moment, so it's looking good. Big day of water skiing here. All the top seeds are skiing today, of course, because we had the top 3 seeds in women's slalom earlier on. We've got the top 2 seeds in men's tricks, and then of course the top female jumpers on this afternoon.
So wait for a score through for Joel Poland. Leader so far is Russell Gay at 10,140, followed by Nicholas Bernardi at 10,010, as we wait for a score to come through from Joel Poland.
Yeah, I think we've got it, and I think we have a new leader, Joel Poland. I'm unofficially calling it 10,230 points.
Wow.
Puts him in the lead. So Joel Poland, congratulations, 10,230. Should get you through to the trick final. In fact, I'm sure it will. And you join Nicholas Benatar and Benetti and Robert Hayes, and Russell Gay over 10,000 points. Here's Adam Saddlemeyer now, world overall record holder, the greatest overall skier the world has ever seen. He took Jarrett Llewellyn's world overall record, of course, a few years back. See how he goes. Concentrating hard. Ski line tricks to start with. Great stuff here. Piling the points on at the moment. Into the flips. Good stuff. Really is tricking well, isn't he? Doing what he has to for overall. Good stuff.
Great tricking, yes, from Adam Saddlemeyer. Put your hands together, folks. He is absolutely pumped.
Front flip out of time.
And there's a good reason why. He knows exactly what that means for his overall score as well, Glenn, doesn't he? As official call does come through for Joel Poland, 10,230 points. So we do have a new leader, as we do have a look at the replay here from Adam Saddlemeyer for his second pass. Look very, very tidy indeed, Glenn.
Sensational. Really good. And pressure's on him. I think he'll be remembering back to Paris where he went in as the favourite, didn't trick as well as he'd like, and of course missed out on the overall title. But job done here for Adam Sedemeier, I believe. He should be over 10,000, but he's not over 10,000. He'll be high nines. And that's great trick skiing. Big fist pump.
I think he got everything in there, Glenn. I don't think he missed anything.
I
That was
agree.
absolutely beautiful tricking from Adam Sedemeier. So this field is hotting up. We've got lots of tricking to come. Our next competitor out from Canada, the Pan American overall champion, Dorian Llewellyn. Of course, a famous name in water skiing, Glenn.
Son of course. Now, he's another guy with a chance in the overall. So, you know, like I say, there's 5 or 6 with real chance in the overall, and it's great to have the overall battle. We have a lot of pro events around the world now, of course, focus on the slalom, the jump, the tricks, but very few of our pro events now concentrate on overall, and overall I think is still a great event. And the World Champs is probably the only real event around the world now where overall is so important, and there's an opportunity for these guys here every couple of years to try and get their very prestigious world overall title. And not only that, they're fighting to try and get a spot into this men's trick final, which at the moment is looking like a cut somewhere around 10,000 points.
All right, Dorian Llewellyn from Canada, the Pan American overall champion, Pan Am champ of just a couple of weeks ago, coming in for pass number 1, set up for his toes. We wish him well.
So 540 to start. Toe back-to-backs. Good, quick and smooth. Toe line tricks look good. He's racing the clock and he's looking the goods. Big high scoring stuff at the end of this run. Oh, he's happy. Put your hands together. That's great tricking, Dorian Llewellyn.
Yeah, nice opening pass for Dorian. Got a little stretch there at the end with some toe wake line back-to-backs, but he stood the pass up nicely. That one there, right there, he nearly let that one go, Glenn. Luckily he's got an experienced releaser and his dad, Jarrett, in the boat, of course. The former champ himself.
Absolutely. Got to admire Dorian for water skiing, because it's got often sons and daughters of the world's best don't take up the sport of their parents. They want to do something different, want to be known. But Dorian is great. It's great to have Dorian in the sport, and he is forging his own way, his own name as he makes his way in the sport. And a good chance, you know, even if he can't win this overall title, he's got a really good chance of getting on the podium, which would be great to see.
So no score yet through from Adam Sedemeier. Leader at the moment, Joel Poland from Great Britain, 10,230 points. From Russell Gay, the independent from the United States, 10,140. And then back to Nicholas Bonatti from Italy at 10,010. As we wait for Dorian Llewellyn to come through for his second pass. Great opening toes. And he'll switch skis, switch handles, and come back in for his second pass, which I'm really looking forward to. He's a great hand tricker, is Dorian, Glenn.
Absolutely.
Had a great event a couple of weeks ago down there in South America where he took out the Pan Am overall title. So he's nice and fired up to do well here in overall as well, as we said, and continue to say that this all-important trick event is very important for many of these athletes who are skiing in other 2 events of slalom and jump also.
Okay, Grant, so we've got a score through for Adam Sedemeier, and it's a very good score, 10,160 points. So that puts him in second spot, just squeezes in between Joel Poland and Russell Gay. Should see him through to the final. In fact, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, great tricking from Adam. 10,160, and that'll slot him into second position behind Joel Poland from Great Britain, who still has the lead at 10,230 as Dorian Llewellyn comes in for his second pass. On his hands.
It also means, I think, with a plus 10,000 point trick score from Adam Sedemeier, it gives him the box seat, I think, in the men's overall. So congratulations. Long way to go yet, but he's going to be the guy to beat, obviously, from here on in. Dorian Llewellyn now, one of the best hand trickers in the world. Just finished up in college, just graduated from college. Because one in the US, one pass in tricks in college. So those college guys get to work a lot on their one hand pass. Oh, there we go. Great front flip. Just stomping it out there as he makes his way down the course. He's into the ski lines now. Very high scoring run. We're going to be up over 6,000 points off this hand run, I think, Grant. That's great stuff. Put your
Oh,
hands
great
together.
tricking from Dorian Llewellyn. Well done. Put your hands together, folks. Dad in the boat pumps the fist. He's happy as well. We'll just have to see, Glenn, the timing of exactly what he got in right at the end there. But a great stand-up pass from Dorian Llewellyn. As we look at the replay here from World Water Skiers. Ski line 5 to the front. Ski line 0. Ski line back-to-backs. And he looks right at the end. Little fist pump there. And Dad was pretty happy in the boat. So when Dad's pumping the fist in the boat, Glenn, you know there's something gone right for you.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day, but I've got a feeling we're about to see the cut for men's tricks be in excess of 10,000 points. I just don't see any of these guys here not tricking 10,000 points as we make our way down the list, you know, and we've already had 4 plus 10,000 point scores. I think Dorian Llewellyn's going to be pretty close to that as well. We still have, of course, some sensational athletes to come. Still a total of almost 10 skiers still to go. I think there is 10 more trickers to go. Remember, 12 in the final. So it's highly possible we could, for the first time ever, have a cut in excess of 10,000 points for a men's trick final.
Incredible, isn't it? You're absolutely right. 10 to go, and we could have a men's trick final with every competitor over 10,000 points. That would be incredible to see. Let's hope we can have all of our guys stand up here, the last 10 competitors of Series 1 Open Men's Trick. Our leader at the moment from Great Britain, Joel Poland, 10,230 points. Adam Saddlemeyer in second, 10,160. And then Russell Gay, the independent from the United States, at 10,140 points.
Okay, next competitor on the dock is Louis Duplon Freiberg, who of course jumped so well last night. If you remember, he was the last competitor to jump, and he went 63.7 metres, and he's going to watch him jumping tomorrow afternoon and see if he makes it into the final. Anyway, here he's on the hand pass at the moment. Looking pretty good, this young French athlete. Piling the points on, racing the clock. This is quick. He looks like he's going to get all his tricks in time here, the way he's going at the moment. Really good stuff. Oh, if Patrice Martin's on side, he'll be enjoying watching that, the young Frenchman.
Oh, what an opening pass.
Magnificent stuff.
Great tricking there from the Frenchman. Of course, the French are traditionally amazing trick skiers, Glenn, and another one has come out here and stood up. Louis on his first opening pass here. As you said, we could have a final full of every single athlete has scored over 10,000 points in the preliminary round. Of course, lots of tricking to come, but a beautiful opening pass from Louis here.
There's a lot of points scored quickly here. Oh, this is Dorian's replay, is it? Yeah. I think we're getting things a little mixed up here. Wow, we've got a score come through. I think this is a score for Dorian Llewellyn of 10,630 points. So we have a new leader, Dorian Llewellyn, 10,630. This is shaping up to be an unbelievable event, but we're actually now seriously looking. It's not just me talking things up in commentary. We are looking at having to trick in excess of 10,000 points to make a men's trick final at the World Champs.
Unbelievable, Glenn. 10,630. Dorian Llewellyn, hats off to you. That's an amazing trick score. You are in the lead from Joel Poland at 10,230. So new leader in Open Men's Tricks Series 1, Dorian Llewellyn at 10,630.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, trying to find an equivalent with the other events. So this is probably similar to having to run, I don't know, 4, 5 at 10, 7, 10 to 5 to make a slalom final, or having to jump in excess of 65, 66 meters or something like that. It's hard to imagine. It's, you know, when you think how long it took to get to 10,000 points in our sport, and then you would have, in any one Worlds, we might have 2 or 3 skiers that could trick over 10,000 points. But now, to have to, at this stage, it's looking like trick over 10,000 points to make a trick final is unbelievable.
Yep, it certainly is. And hats off to all the judges downstairs who've got to judge this, Glenn. I don't envy their
I'll need a
job, I
lie
tell
down
you.
after this, that's for sure. So here's this young Frenchman who tricked so well on his hand pass. Let's see if he can add that to a magnificent toe pass. Louis Freiberg. And of course, jumped really well last night as well. So he's in form, the youngster coming up through the ranks. And there's nothing wrong with this toe pass. It's clean, it's quick. Just back a bit on that toe line trick, but that's sensational. Put your hands together. Unbelievable
Another great
tricking.
performance. Louis Freiberg from France. Put your hands together, folks. Wonderful tricking again. Up around 10,000 plus points. Our leader, of course, at the moment, Dorian Llewellyn from Canada at 10,630. But as you said, Glenn, this looks again to be looking like a pass that could exceed 10,000 points.
Absolutely. You know, maybe he doesn't have quite as high scoring tricks as some of the others, but he's done them all cleanly, I think, and quite quick. I think it's going to be in time. He looks happy.
Yeah,
So,
very happy at the end.
you know, it could be another run over 10,000 points.
Just great to see all these guys standing up. I mean, absolutely no reason why they wouldn't. There's beautiful conditions out here behind the best tournament towboat in the world. Of course, the ski nautique, and just a slight breeze here this afternoon. I can't wait for the jump event to also to come underway. We've got some absolutely brilliant tricking to come. About 7 or 8 competitors to go before we move into Series 2 women's jump, and then of course Series 1. So that will be coming up in around about an hour's time.
Yeah, you have to wonder, you mentioned the boat before. That I think that's one of the reasons as well we're getting such a high standard of tricking here, plus 10,000 points. The new nautique with the ballast tanks, of course. And, you know, quite a few of the boat companies now have pretty much given up on the trick event, but not nautique, and they're producing these magnificent trick wakes. So I think that's got something to do with the reason why we're getting such magnificent tow runs. So we go next to the Ukraine, and it's Danilo Falchenko of the Ukraine. Now, if I watched the Under-21 Worlds 6 weeks ago in Canada, I actually watched the webcast, sat at home and watched the webcast. And if I remember rightly, this guy tricked, I think it was 11,480 points or something at the Under-21 Worlds, took the gold. So let's see how he goes. He's an exciting tricker, particularly rope on hand, and that's what he's going to start with. Good start here, the Ukrainian. Former junior world champion, of course. Took out that title, I think it was in Peru.
Nice and clean so far as he heads down to the latter part of the 20 seconds. Ski line back to back in front. And he looks pretty happy, Glenn. Stand up pass there for Danilo Filchenko from the Ukraine. As we look at the replay here from World Waterskiers, starting out with the back-to-back and the reverse, and looking nice and confident right from the start there, Glenn.
Yeah. It's quick too, you know, like he's not bobbling at all. He's not losing his balance or his rhythm, so he's getting through so many tricks quickly. Really good ski line tricks too. He's high scoring, clean. Well done, the Ukraine competitor, Danilo Falchenko.
Of course, the amazing backdrop here in Putrajaya here in Malaysia, around about 40 minutes or so outside of the capital here, Kuala Lumpur. This magnificent facility. Wonderful job the event organisers have done, Glenn, over the last, well, not just the last few days, but leading months coming up into these championships. Absolutely flawless so far in every way. We had a magnificent opening ceremony a couple of nights ago, and day 1 and 2 of the competition ran absolutely smoothly. All the conditions exactly the same for all of our athletes, and some amazing scores, lots of personal bests in jump yesterday, and hopefully we can see that again in the trick event here today, and of course jump event coming up in around about an hour's time. So magnificent conditions. Someone's just turned the switch and given a little head breeze here for jump coming up shortly.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And we are witnessing one of the great trick elimination rounds. I'm just still blown away by this. So far, we already have 5 scores in excess of 10,000. We've just had a score through for Louis Freiberg. Well, it's not going to be 10,000. It's not too far off though. 9,690. So 96.90, it's a great score. Any other time, any other Worlds that would get you into the Worlds final. And I've just got a feeling it's probably not quite going to get him there today. We'll have to wait and see.
Right, we've got Danilo Filchenko from Ukraine coming in for his second pass. Stand-up pass, the first one. Coming in rope on toe. Let's see what he can do.
So he's underway, toe 540. Back-to-backs. Very, very quick here. Racing the clock. Many tricks as possible. Beautiful toe line tricks to finish. One last trick, I think, and see. Oh, over the rope he goes. Put your hands together. I'm sure that's over 10,000 as well, Grant. So this is unbelievable stuff.
Yep, great tricking there from Danilo Filchenko from the Ukraine. 2 stand-up passes, and I'd say he looked actually cleaner in his toes here, Glenn, as well. Really, really quick through the mid part of this toe pass. Right here, he really starts to quicken up quite a bit. Toe step front. Toe. And just throwing in some nice ones at the end there as well. Which will all add up. And of course our leader at the moment, Dorian Llewellyn, at 10,630. We'll wait for a score from Filchenko from the Ukraine. As we look to our next competitor is Patricio Font. Of course, another famous name in water skiing, Glenn, over the years. Dad Sergio as well, and Patricio now is one of the premier trickers in the world. So I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, 2-time World Junior Trick Champion, of course. Has multiple time holder of the Junior World Trick record. So he's an absolute superstar in the making. I wouldn't be surprised that, to me, that trick run of Danilo Filchenko's there. I wouldn't be surprised if that's right up there with Dorian Llewellyn. I've just got a feeling there's some high scoring stuff there. It's pretty quick.
It's going to be close.
It will be close. That's great stuff.
Patricio Font from Mexico is our next competitor. What a wonderful talent he is. Looks like he's going to start with his first pass, rope on toe. Dad will no doubt be in the boat. Is his release person.
Yeah, it's an absolute super talent, of course. His personal best is a little over, I think about 11,400 from memory, so very good trick skier from Mexico. But of course, I think now residing, the family lives in Florida now. Beautiful tricking here, toe line tricks. One last big barnstormer to finish. Great stuff.
Yeah, great opening pass from Patricio Font from Mexico. It's exactly what he was looking for, Glenn. A stand-up pass. Of course, he is one of our premier trickers in Series 1 tricks, a trick specialist from Mexico, the famous Font family. And hello to all of the family who may be watching back in Mexico. Beautiful afternoon here in Putrajaya, here in Malaysia, about 32, 33 degrees, a slight breeze for our trickers, but absolutely perfect conditions. That's exactly why we're seeing all of these guys stand up their passes, Glenn, and great to see Patricio there on his first pass have a stand-up pass. Our leader so far, Dorian Llewellyn from Canada, 10,630 points, followed by Joel Poland from Great Britain, 10,230, and Adam Sademeyer in third at 10,160 points. Still waiting for a score from Danilo Filchenko from the Ukraine. As soon as that score comes through, we'll bring it to you as quickly as we can, because that was a wonderful tricking from Danilo.
Yeah, we're starting to find a few finalists now. Oh, here we go. Get ready. This is huge. We have a trick score through now for Danilo Felchenko from the Ukraine. It is massive. 11,620 points, folks. That is sensational. What a huge score from the Ukrainian.
Well, there it is, Glenn. The first score over 11,620 points.
And that, I tell you, puts him right in the running for the overall title as well now too, the Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's an amazing trick score for his overall chances, Glenn. No doubt about that.
So I'm kind of running the numbers, and unofficially I've got 4 skiers now into the final. I've got Danilo Felchenko, I've got Doreen Llewellyn, I've got Joel Poland, and I've got Adam Sedlmeier. And that means I think I've got Russell Gay on the bobble at the moment with 10,140. So we've got 4 finalists already, and all of them are well in excess of 10,000 points. Here's Putrajaya Font now, rope on hand, this youngster. Still, I think, just 17 years of age. He might be 18 now, but he's amazing talent for such a youngster. Starts with a back-to-back flip. I think here's the reverse. Yes. Back to front flip. Really high scoring run here. We're going over 10,000 points here again, I'm sure, Grant. This is amazing stuff. Well done.
Oh, great tricking from Pato Font from Mexico. He's fired up too.
Looks at the crowd, pumps his fist, pumps his chest. That's sensational tricking. The Mexican superstar, Putrajaya Font. I think that'll be plus 11,000 again. This is unbelievable stuff. I can't believe what we're seeing here.
Yeah, wonderful tricking from the Mexican. So clean as well. Right from the start here, he looks so confident, nice and clean all the way through. And finishing off there with just the Waco and a bit of a fist pump and a pump to the chest. He was fired up, Glenn, and we'll just wait for the score to come through from Putrajaya Font from Mexico. Great tricking.
Well, we talk about French tricking and the powerhouse that it is. Well, we're in for a treat now because we've got 3 Frenchmen in a row, sort of 4, although Frank Deboyer has, of course, changed his citizenship from French to USA. But we've got, of course, Alexandre Poteau of France. He'll be followed by Pierre Ballon of France, Thibaut Deland, also of France, and then Frank Deboyer, of course, Deboyer, who once upon a time was French. He was born a Frenchman, but now he's an American. And then, of course, we're going to move in. This names is huge. We've got the 2-time defending world champion, Adam Pecos. Then we go to the world record holder, Alexei Janishek. And then, of course, the current world number 1, Martin Coleman. So we're not even, we've still got, 7 trickers to go. 7 of the best trickers in the world. And we've seen something like 7 plus 10,000 point runs already.
Yep, incredible. 6 athletes up over 10,000 points already. 1 athlete above 11,000, Danilo Felchenko from the Ukraine in the lead at 11,620 as the Frenchman comes onto the water now for pass number 1.
Yep, Alexandre Poteau of France now. Skiing as an independent, obviously ranked top 10 in the world in tricks. Well, I guess they're all top 10 in the world now as we make our way down the list. Good clean toe tricking over the rope once again.
Wow, great opening pass
Everybody's
from the Frenchman.
standing up, Grant.
It is
It's
incredible. The quality of this field and quality of tricking is some of the best I have ever seen, if not the best. And if you're here on site or you're watching the World Waterskiers webcast, you are in for a treat here because we could have the first ever final with every athlete up over 10,000 points, which would be absolutely amazing. And a great opening pass here from the Frenchman.
Such a shame, I guess, as well. We think about it. Josh Bryant not here. He should be out there and tricking up over 11,000 points, and for Australia and that. And of course, last Worlds, I think from memory, was his 2nd or 3rd in trick event. Trying to remember in Paris. So it's a shame he's not here. Still recovering from an injury. It's because the world tricking at the moment is just unbelievable.
Wow, a score through for Patricio Font from Mexico, 11,330 points. Patricio Font, Pato Font from Mexico, 11,330 points. So he goes into second position behind Danilo Filchenko from the Ukraine, who has the lead at 11,620 and pushes Dorian Llewellyn back to third place at 10,630 points.
This tricking is completely off the charts here. It's unbelievable. At this stage, we have Russell Gay on 10,140, who is not yet into the final with that score. That's crazy to think you can trick over 10,000.
Unbelievable.
Also, we've got Nicholas Benati as well, also over 10,000 points, not guaranteed in. Just checking up. So, course record here is 11,470. So we have had a new course record, by the way, from Danilo Filchenko. Is 11,620 is a new course record here at Putrajaya.
So 6 competitors to come in Open Men's Series 1 tricks before we move into some jumping, and we'll start out with the Women's Series 2 jump. There'll be 9 competitors there, then we move into Open Women's Series 1. Absolutely beautiful conditions will greet the ladies once this trick event has finished. But boy, I don't want it to finish. It's exciting, Glenn. I tell you what, we've got some amazing trickers still to come, and the quality of the tricking we've seen this afternoon, I would venture to say, is the best the world has ever seen. This is absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And like we've both said a couple of times, nobody's falling. Everybody's standing up both passes, and it's just so hard to do that with this level of tricking. Starts off with the flips. Alexandra Poteau getting it done over the rope he goes. Conditions are just perfect out there, aren't they? What a magnificent ski site. Just finishes off with some sort of a magnificent flip there.
Yeah, another stand-up pass, another fist pump. Put your hands together, folks, for the Frenchman. Some incredible tricking. Who knows where we'll end up with that one, Glenn? I'd say maybe a high 10,000s, possibly 11.
Could be 11, I think.
We'll just wait and see here as we watch the replay here. World Waterski's replay starting out with the 2 back-to-back flips, and then the front flips goes into the regular front-to-backs and looking nice and clean as well. Ideal conditions. Some big tricking at the end there as well, Glenn. So we'll wait for a score for the Frenchman, Alexander Poteau.
Yeah, we'll give it to you as soon as we get it to me. It looked in excess of 11,000. We go from one Frenchman to the next. We've got Pierre Ballon now, of course. Pierre Ballon.
Pierre Ballon, an experienced tricker from France, been around a long time, Glenn.
Yeah, I think he's one of the very few, of course, trick skiers to have ever gone over 12,000 points as well. So this is an unbelievable field.
So the leader at the moment, Danilo Filchenko, 11,620 from Pato Font from Mexico, 11,330. And Dorian Llewellyn sitting in third position at 10,630 points.
Just a reminder while the skier leaves the dock that we do have merchandise on sale here, world's memorabilia, I suppose. World's t-shirts, caps, shirts. Also, not only genuine 2019 World stuff, we've got World Waterskiers merchandise as well for sale down there. I think it's somewhere on site, obviously not too far from us, but somewhere at the back of the skiers area. Okay, back on the water now. Pierre Ballon now. Rope on toe. Looking to make his way into the men's trick final. The cut is so high, you know, you just can't, not only can you not fall off, you can't lose time. You can't have a bobble and lose time because it's looking like a final cut over 10,000 points.
Looking nice and clean, Glenn, as he heads towards the latter part of his 20 seconds. Wonderful tricking from Pierre Ballon from France. Put your hands together, folks. Great stand-up pass.
Beautiful stuff, you know. These real absolute top guys, it's gone past just being, you know, smooth and kind of like the ballet on water type thing with the toes. It's actually getting quite aggressive now with these ski line tricks at the end. You know, the strength they've got to have in those legs to take the hit.
Let alone the guy holding the rope release as well, Glenn.
Unbelievable, yeah. You look at some of these, the way he lands quite a way back here.
Wow, look at that trick there. That's
and
incredible.
Boom, you know, wow.
Both those last ski line back-to-backs, absolutely incredible. Tie-back line back-to-backs, I should say, absolutely incredible.
And yeah, you're right, the icy temperament or whatever to say, the coolness of the release person, because you'd want to let go, I'm sure. Although the thing is, I guess he practiced with Pierre so often, he'd be a release person in practice and training, and he knows the way he lands and knows the way he can take the hit.
Yeah, so much strength in those last toe-wake line back-to-backs, just to get up and get the ski over the rope. And
yeah, you can kind of get how he lands one of them, but then to go in and throw the next one and still get it as well is
incredible. Picture perfect here in Putrajaya for the Open Men's Series 1 Tricks preliminary round. Beautiful pictures coming here from World Waterskiers webcast. This is the 2019 IWWF World Waterski Championships. Just heading towards 2:30 in the afternoon here on Thursday. Wherever you're logged in around the world, good morning, good afternoon or good evening. We've got about 5 athletes to go in Open Men's Series 1 Tricks before we move into some jumping. And we'll bring on the Open Women's Series 2 jump preliminary round, and then followed by Series 1. Probably coming up around about 30 minutes time, Glenn, I would imagine.
Yeah, you're right. It's we're a lot of skiing today, but we're ripping through it. It's been plenty of excitement. Yeah, I'm sure Europe, I'm sure France they're up and having breakfast, maybe trying to watch as much of this as they can before going off to work. As we watch Pierre Balloon now. Ballon. Flips are plenty, I'm sure. Beautiful front flip. Back landing. Just so clean. You know what we've got here, Grant? We've got another 10,000 plus point trick run. Almost lost the handle at the end, but I don't think it matters. He's got the points.
Ooh la la, Glenn, that was
Ooh la la.
fantastic. Absolutely amazing tricking from Pierre Ballon, the Frenchman.
Score through for Alexandre Poutot. Just came through, 10,910. That puts him through to the final. So we now have a total of 8 skiers in excess of 10,000 points. And we still have 6 scores to come.
Amazing tricking. Nearly lost the handle there on the second last trick there. But managed to hang on, Pierre Ballon. Great tricking. So just recapping the leaderboard again. Danielo Filchenko is still out in the lead with 11,620. Followed by Patricio Font from Mexico, 11,330. Then Dorian Llewellyn's 10,630 points as we wait for a score for Pierre Ballon.
Amazing tricking, and it is starting to look very likely that our cut is going to be above 10,000 points. And as we've said a few times, first time in history at a World Champs, you've had to trick over 10,000 points to make the final. Standard of trick skiing continues to rise. Okay, so we've got, I think it's Thibaut Deland now, out of France. I think he resides pretty much full-time now in Orlando. But like you, I think Grant, he's a real estate agent there in Orlando. Well, you're not a real estate agent in Orlando, but you are in Queensland, I believe. So here we go, rope on toe. Now he also is a guy who's got a shot at winning the overall title. Top 5 skier or top 6 skier at least in the world in overall. And he needs a good trick score here to get his overall battle underway. And he looks to have done it here, doesn't he? Opening pass. Rope on toe, solid stuff.
Yeah, great tricking, great opening pass. Great to see all of these Series 1 men's trickers standing up both passes so far. Every single athlete in Series 1 so far has done so, Glenn. Fantastic to see.
Tebow does a lot of skiing at Jack Travis's at Sunset Lakes in Orlando, Florida. There's a lot of his training there. Thanks very much. Thanks, Jarrett Llewellyn. He's just hooking us up with a Red Bull here in commentary. We're obviously
Lovely,
sitting a
isn't
little
it?
flat, but
The
this will
service
pick
is
us up.
incredible up here.
It is.
Of course, amazing judges tower here too, Glenn, at this facility here in Putrajaya. There's 3 levels, glass windows all around, the first level and second level for our judges panel, and the third level up the top right up here. We get the best view of all of the webcast here and all of our athletes in what is an absolutely magnificent stadium here in Putrajaya. An opportunity for our athletes to showcase their talents in front of thousands of people come Saturday and Sunday for the finals. A real stadium-like atmosphere. Of course, the carnival behind the scenes here as well. They do it extremely well. And everything running absolutely flawlessly so far.
Just looking at this field here, seed 1, I find it, I guess, kind of curious. So we've got a score through, haven't we? We've got a score through for Pierre
score through for Pierre Bellon of 11,110 points. So he goes into 3rd position, does Pierre Bellon, at 11,110 points for the Frenchman.
Okay, just a quick announcement, please. We need Des Burke Kennedy, please, to go to the media centre above the grandstand. So DBK, Des Burke Kennedy, please, to the media centre above the grandstand. Back on the water, here's Thibaut Delanne from France, looking to make his way into the men's trick final. Not only that, but press for his chances in the quest to be the men's world overall champion. Beautiful front flip. We're into the flips now. He's racing the clock. We're probably up to 15 seconds or so, I'd say now. He's running out of time. Couple of side slides at the end.
Yeah, great tricking. Put your hands together, folks. Christophe in the boat is happy as well, so that tells us one thing. 2 stand-up passes is going to be a great score for the Frenchman. So we'll have a look at the replay here. Starts out nice and clean. The back-to-back flips. Little bobble through right in the middle pass of the run there, but pulled it together towards the end, and another great stand-up pass, and the French trickers are looking mighty fine here, Glenn.
Yep, and well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's another plus 10,000 point run. We have 9 scores now in excess of 10,000 points.
Wow.
And still 5 scores to come. So it's highly likely. Remember, 12 into the final, highly likely.
15 minutes ago, Dorian Llewellyn was sitting in 2nd place, Glenn. He's been bumped back to number 5 now with 10,630. But Danilo Filchenko from the Ukraine still hanging on at 11,620. Followed by Patricio Font at 11,330, and then Pierre Bellon at 11,110. 4 competitors to come before we close out the Open Men's Series preliminary trick round.
Okay, Frank Deboyer now. Well, it's not Frank Deboyer. Wow, there we go. They've done it to me. Here we go. It's the world defending champion, Adam Picos. So, sort of need to get that information a little earlier in commentary if it's possible. We need to work on that, but Frank Debouet is not here. So we've got Adam Picos, two-time world trick champion. Winner, of course, in 2015 and 2017. Plenty of French skiers in this Seed 1. Plenty of European skiers, but the only American, of course, Adam Picos. Let's see how he goes. He goes really well, rope on toe. Dad Corey, of course, in the boat.
Great opening pass from Adam Picos. Glenn looked nice and comfortable. A couple of bobbles there towards the end, but Dad Corey looked pretty happy in the boat. What a famous name that is in trick skiing around the world. Great to see Corey here. One of the nicest blokes
He really is.
in water skiing, Corey Picos. And
one of the great coaches.
as we watch a replay of Adam's first pass. Wow, nice and quick there. Toe wake line back-to-backs to finish. And some quick toe slides and toe back, toe fronts as well. So let's hope and wait and see if those make it in time. A great opening pass from Adam Picos. So he's the third last competitor. Alexei Zarnasek and Martin Coleman will round out Open Men's Series 1 trick preliminary round.
So as I said, Adam Picos, a two-time world champion. And his dad, Corey, it's one of those interesting quirks of the history of our sport. Even though Dad Corey dominated men's tricks for probably 15 years, I think, and he, some of the, first man to trick 7,000 points, first man to trick 8,000, first man to trick 9,000, I think first man to trick 11,000 points, Corey Picos. He actually only won 2 world titles in his entire career, so his son Adam has already tied him for titles, and what a huge, I'm sure Corey would be the first man to be proud and happy of his son if Adam was able to eclipse his record and pick up a couple of a third world title here at these Worlds in Putrajaya. Okay, well, we've got a score has come through. Is it for Thibaut Deland, I guess? And it's not quite as good as we thought, actually. 9,170, that's unofficial for Thibaut. And that's interesting because Thibaut didn't throw the fist at the end of his runs. He didn't look super excited. We thought it looked pretty good. But he knew, I think, deep down that possibly he hadn't tricked enough to make the final. We'll have to wait and see. We've got to confirm that a little bit later. Back on the water now, Adam Picos. Look at him hunched over, ready to go. Men's tricks elimination round. Couple of ski line 540s. High scoring stuff. Into the flips. Front flip. Back landing. Reverse back landing. He's going so quick. He's piling the points on. The mobe, of course, back-to-back mobe. Something there at the end. I don't know what that was, but still. Great tricking. It must be over 10,000 points.
Yeah, great tricking from Adam Picos. Put your hands together, folks. Missed a couple of tricks right at the end there, Glenn, but he'll be comfortably through to the final as we do get a confirmed score through for Thibaut Deland from France, 9,170 points. So he'll be a little bit disappointed with that, Glenn, and probably unlikely going to make the final. We'll just have to wait and see. The scores this afternoon have been of such high quality.
So Russell Gay's through to the final, looking at it here. So Russell Gay's made the final at the moment with 10,140. And the cut now moves to Nicholas Bernardi, who's got 10,010. Got a feeling Adam Picos will be ahead of 10,010, so he should be in. So it comes down now to Alexei Zarnasek, of course, and Martin Coleman. So we've got the world record holder, followed by the world #1 ranked trick skiers in the world.
So just to recap our leaderboard again, Dalielo Folchenko from Ukraine out in the lead at 11,620. Patrizio Font at 11,330 and Pierre Ballon at 11,1110. As Alexei Zarnasek from... Oh no, we're going to have a
dummy run.
A dummy run. Not quite sure why that they'd be doing that, but We want to make sure the conditions are absolutely identically the same for each of our athletes. Not sure why that would be necessary now, but all of our team have been doing a wonderful job. Candido, our chief judge, and everybody making sure everybody gets identically the same conditions. So we'll have a run through and bring on our second last competitor, Alexei Zarnasek from Belarus. And then our final competitor in Open Men's Series 1 tricks will be Martin Coleman from the Czech Republic.
So we're eagerly awaiting our score for Adam Picos. Haven't quite got it through yet, but we're thinking it's going to be plus 10,000 points. And of course, world record holder Alexei Zarnasek is up next. His world record, of course, well in excess of 12,000 points. From memory, I think, I might not be exact on this, but I think world record 12,570 points. Grant, something like that, I think.
Yep, pretty close.
Pretty close. Alexei Zarnasek, of course, next on the dock. You know, too good a tricker really to have not won any more world titles. He's probably not done quite as well at World Championships as what he'd like, so here's an opportunity for him to get himself into the final and probably push hard for that victory. Not quite sure why we had to pause here.
Well, we've got that, Glenn. We might run through some scores right for these athletes in Series 1 for anybody that is live here on site and want to run some scores down. Daniele Felchenko in the lead at the moment, 11,620. Patricio Font from Mexico in second place, 11,330. Pierre Ballon from France at 11,110. Alexander Porto from France, 10,910. Dorian Llewellyn, 10,630. And back in sixth place, Joel Poland at 10,230. So still waiting for a score through from Adam Picos. We'll bring that to you as soon as we can. Missed a couple of little tricks towards the end, Glenn, which might be a little bit down on his best, but certainly well and truly into the final, you would have to say.
Yeah, you would think so. I don't know if it was a flip or what at the very end that he pulled out of it. He ended up just finishing off with a wake jump and then a couple of 180s at the end. But I'm sure that Adam Picos tricked enough to make his way into the final. Beautiful day here in Putrajaya. Absolutely sensational. So I don't know if we can get a camera shot, probably not right now, but there's one of those hoverboard type situations going on over across the lake there. They call those things the fly boards, or probably not much point in talking about that when we've got the tricks on, but it's kind of interesting.
All right, next tricker up, Alexei Zarnasek from Belarus. Belarus, he's jumped in the water now. Of course, the veteran, former world trick champion, world record holder. Let's see what he can glue, Glenn. He is an exciting package.
Absolutely.
As all of these Series 1 and 2 trickers have been this afternoon. The quality of the tricking has been absolutely amazing. And let's hope we can have these last two competitors, Alexei Zarnasek and Martin Coleman from the Czech Republic, have two stand-up passes as well.
Here he comes, the greatest trick skier the world has ever seen, the world record holder. Unbelievable athlete out of Belarus. As I said, the Belarusian started off tricking in a swimming pool, believe it or not. Resides, of course, now in Florida. Here we go. Starts off with the flip. Back to back flip. Reverse. Gets into his work. Front flip. Back landing. Back landing reverse. Quite see that for the spray, but I think it was a bit of a mob. Oh, he's gone down on the ski line trick, and unbelievable stuff. The world record holder goes down. And that is an unbelievable upset. That's not a difficult trick by his standards, Grant, and I cannot believe it. The question now is, does he have enough points in the hand run to make the final? I don't know that he does. Well, watch this pass.
Fairly
huge
close
upset.
towards the end of the pass, though, Glenn, but we'll have to wait and see. The quality of the trick in there been so high this
Well, yeah.
afternoon. We just need a really high score for him to make it through. So, unfortunately for Alexei, going down right there. Oh, dear me. So probably another, I reckon another 2 or 3 quite high scoring tricks towards the end there. I think he was setting up for a ski line 5 to the front.
It's
and then
hard to see that, like we say, we need more than 10,000 points to make the final.
Yep.
So, wow, this is interesting too. We got a score just come through for Corey Picos.
Adam Picos.
Sorry, Adam Picos, which is now, it says 9,770 with a video review. Okay, now there's a couple of interesting things to come out of that. On the surface of it, 9,770 might not be enough to make the final. But the other thing, the video review, possibly the score could go up after that video review. I don't know.
Correct.
It also could go down, I suppose. But this is tension now, because we were cruising along expecting these top guys to make the final. But Adam Picos potentially is in a little bit of trouble here, but we won't call that just yet. The defending champion. Alexei Zanasek, I think, is in a reasonable amount of trouble with that fall. And not sure what the delay is here now. Oh, he's asked for a rewrite here because he was supposed to have a speed change, or he asked for a speed change just before the course, I think, which he's feeling didn't happen in time, or didn't happen. I don't know the details, but we have a request for a reride. This is all happening. There's so much riding on this. The world record holder, he's got sponsors, all that sort of thing. He wants to get in the final.
Yep, lots of tension down here, Glenn, no doubt about it. Video review coming through for Adam Picos right now at 9,770. Certainly not a score what he was looking for this afternoon, but is under video review. Alexei Zanasek going down right towards the end of his first pass and is now requested a reride. So we'll wait for that decision. I don't think we've seen one this weekend so far,
No.
Glenn, in any event whatsoever. But we'll have to wait and see. Something to do with the speed coming in on his first pass. Slightly unconfirmed there, but
so you
it
can
has
adjust
something
the
to do
speed,
with that.
of course. So the skiers can have whatever speed they want. They can adjust the speed. My understanding is, though, I think you have to have finished your adjustments by the time you get to that red buoy. Sorry, not the red buoy, it's green buoy here. The 50-metre buoy before. I don't know. This is a tough one. Because
Lots of tension here, high quality field, high quality tricking, and lots of high quality scores have been put on the board this afternoon.
it doesn't look like a reride, though, because the boat is heading down to the northern end. I think well, we know how desperate Alexei is to make the final, and he obviously didn't feel it was quite right, but
Yep, looks like no reride granted, so he'll come back for his second pass. Falling towards the end of his first pass there. I think probably 2 or 3 tricks to come, but high scoring tricks as well they would have been, Glenn.
lots of drama here, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but we're cruising along. Nobody's falling off. Everybody's tricking over 10,000. We're heading towards the greatest trick scores to make a final ever. We're talking about how, it's just everything's so perfect. And then next thing, you've got the defending world champion Adam Picos with a score that doesn't look like we'll get him into the final. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be close, 9,770. And then the world record holder Alexei Zanasek falls probably 2/3, 3/4 of the way through his trick run. So the drama has the whole thing has changed really. The mood around the site will be one of shock, I think, at the moment, as we await the second pass. I think Alexei can possibly still do this, but he's going to absolutely have to stand up every trick in this run. We had a similar thing happened actually at the Mexico Worlds. I'm trying to remember whether it was in the prelim or the final, but fell about 2/3 of the way down his hand pass and had to stand up his toes.
Right, Alexei coming in now. Let's see what he can do. Can he stand it up and squeak into the finals? He's going to need absolutely everything here. Glenn on this second pass. Former world champion, world record holder. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, plenty of pressure on here. Getting it done at the moment, though. The high-scoring points are yet to come. He's into them now. Toe wake line 540. Reverse toe wake line 540. Toe wake line back-to-back. He's racing the clock. He needs every last thing in the run, as you see. I don't know.
Well, he squeaked them in. He got absolutely everything in there, I think, Glenn, on that second pass, which is great to see and exactly what he wanted. Put your hands together, folks, for Alexei Zarnasek from Belarus.
He certainly
going
did,
down
Grant.
2/3 of the way through his first pass, but fantastic stand-up toes on his second. Some big point-scoring tricks towards the end. And we're just going to have to wait and see if that is going to be enough.
I know. Body language, though, he knows himself at the end of this run. You watch Alexei. The body language suggests to me that he knows he hasn't got enough to make the trick final.
So just to confirm, Adam Picos is still under video review at 9,770. Of course, Glenn, that could go up or down either way. We just don't know. But our leader, Danielo Filchenko, at 11,620.
Okay, so this, looking at what we're looking at here, at the moment, Adam Picos, if things go the way we think they're going to go, would finish in 12th, which actually means that he would make the final if he can hang on to that 9,770.
Yep. Of course, depending on the score from Alexei Zarnasek coming through as well, he had some high-scoring tricks in his first pass. Did go down early, and we'll bring that score to you as quickly as we can. As our final competitor in Open Men's Series 2 Tricks comes on from the Czech Republic, will be Martin Coleman.
That's right, and finished the world last season on the world ranking list as the #1 ranked tricker in the world. That's why he's last off the dock. #1 ranked, one of the top 2 overall skiers in the world as well. So he's another guy that is looking to stand up his trick run and have a good shot at being on the podium in the overall. He's pretty solid at the moment on his toe pass. Oh, sensational. Toe line tricks, really good stuff. Good opening toe pass from Martin Coleman.
Yeah, great opening pass from Martin Coleman. Exactly what he was looking for. As we look at the world's water skiers replay here. So like back-to-backs, nice and smooth start from Martin Coleman. Nice and quick through the midsection as well. Let's go into the toe wake line tricks. Big toe wake line 5 to the back there. Oh, a little nervous on that one. I did see that last toe wake line back-to-back, but he did slip it in, and let's hope he can come back in and stand them up again, as every athlete has just about done this afternoon. We've had a couple of falls, but not many, which has been great to see. High quality tricking from Series 2 and 1.
Yeah, so we know that we've got Danilo Falchenko's through to the final. Obviously, he's a top scorer. Putrajaya Font's in, Pierre Balloon's in, Alexandre Poutot is in, Doreen Llewellyn is in, Joel Poland is in. We have a score that has come through for Alexei Zarnasek, and it is 10,010, and that is going to get him into the final. Well, I'd almost written him off, but magnificent stuff from Alexei. I don't think even he thought he'd done enough, but he has by the look of it.
Yep, Alexei Zarnasek, 10,010. He sits on exactly the same score as Nicolas Bonatti from Italy. So both of those athletes are tied at 9th and looking like moving into the final. Of course, Adam Picos under review, Glenn, and that may not happen until after the final pass here from
and the
Martin Coleman.
Thing for Adam Pecos is, as it stands at the moment, he's going to scrape into this final, and I think possibly in last spot, depending on what happens with Adam Coleman here. But he's actually, with 9.77, he's only going to be, what have we got there? Less than 100 points ahead of Louis Freiberg. So if he was to lose more than 100 points on that review, he would miss out on the final. So this is going to be
That's
exciting.
exactly right, because it could go either
Yeah,
way, as we
could.
keep saying. So at the moment, he is a little bit ahead of the Frenchman. And we'll bring that updated score to you as quickly as we can. But Alexei Zarnasek looks like he's safely through as last competitor, Martin Coleman, second pass.
Solid stuff from Martin Coleman. Oh, high scoring flips, beautiful ski lines. Magnificent stuff. Martin Coleman out of the Czech Republic joins his countryman Adam Sedemeier in the men's trick final. Magnificent stuff. Put your hands together. Wonderful round of tricks. We thought it was going to be the first time ever that we get plus 10,000 points to get into the final. For that to happen now, we're going to need the video review of Adam Pecos to up his score a bit, because at the moment we've got 11 scores, I think, over 10.
Yep.
And one just under 10 with Adam Pecos, but we are under video review with that. So we watched the replay of Martin Coleman.
And how clean was he? This was an incredible pass by Martin Coleman on his hands here. Easily broken through into the finals. Really nice tricking from Martin. And a big fist pump at the end too. He was pumped. He knows he's through. Well done to Martin Coleman. You are into the finals.
Yeah, and it also helps his overall battle score as well. Okay, folks, we're going to have maybe a 5-minute break. Give your ears a bit of a rest. Play some ads, and we'll be back with the jump, I would say, in 10 or 15 minutes time. As soon as we have a trick score confirmed, because all these trick scores are always just provisional. I'm sure trick sheets are available in about 5 minutes below us under the tower, but we're going to run some ads. We'll be back on air in 5 or 10 minutes.